Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fan Cams. As the Blues lose again to the Dockers. 13 goals, 11, 89 to 16 goals, 7, 103. Just in front of over 54,000 people at Optus Stadium. Yeah, we fall to 1-6. And yeah, I don't know how you guys absorb that one. I have my thoughts on things. I watched the game from a very different angle than what I usually do. I sat right behind the goals and saw some very interesting things. And what we'll do is we'll unpack everything. However you saw the game, please feel free to call in and share your thoughts. I'll put the link a few times here and there in the chat. If you want to call in, please do. And we'll unpack everything. It's been a pretty exhausting week, to be honest, for the Carlton Football Club. So in some ways, I'm glad it's over. In other ways, there's more questions, and yeah, I'm sure everything's going to come up. So call in. Let's have a chat. Joe.
It's just painful at this point, mate. Honestly. At least I didn't travel to Perth like you. Fucking hell.
Hey, man, I love Perth. Perth was great.
Thoughts. It's pretty uninspiring, I would have thought. We stayed in touch. The fact that we were in touch for so long and were so poor, I kind of looked at it and I was like, there might actually be some upside here, as I usually do each week. But I was preparing myself for that 5-minute onslaught this week. So I wasn't shocked when it happened to start the last quarter. But again, I just scratched my head and I think, like, I know Freo probably took the foot off, but it's just like, where's that spark, like, that we saw towards the end of the game? Like, why does that take so long? Do you know what I mean? Why does it take for the game to be dead for players to spark up? And I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing. Yeah, go.
No, I was going to say, I don't know how you watched it from home, but on the ground, the last 5 minutes of the third quarter, I thought Freo lifted their intensity. And, we'll pretty much, we kept it to arm's length for the most part up until that point. A lot of the forwards worked hard ahead of the ball, earned some free kicks that we haven't been getting paid over the last few weeks, whatever. But there was just this feeling I noticed in the last 5 minutes. Freo lifted, and we just don't have that level to go to when it got really, really hot. And I was left thinking, I think it's a belief. Like, I don't think the guys truly believed in themselves that they could win the game tonight. And I think when push came to shove, Freo took it to that level, and we didn't really believe we could really win the game. And so, yeah, I don't know how you saw it there or if you felt that as well. Because in that 5-minute patch, rather than going for that handball on the wing, we'd wait for the tackle to absorb. It was a really interesting point in time.
Yeah, and then Freo took that into the fourth with momentum and blitzed us in 5 minutes. So yeah, I think you read it correctly. But it's the same old shit. Like, how many times can we talk about that from our group?
Yeah.
We're in it. Other team lifts the intensity. We don't really go with them. They put us away in 5 minutes. And when it's all pretty much said and done, we decide to make it respectable. Don't know, mate. Don't know. We're 1-6. It's just fuck. We should be 0-7 if it wasn't for Tom Lynch. That's what everyone's got to wrap their head around. We should be winless. Which is fucked after 7 weeks of football. We're 7 weeks in, and I feel like we are 20 rounds in. That's how tired I am of this team at this point.
Well, look, it's been a very tiring week. I think emotionally it's been an exhausting week.
Yes. Yep. So that was a positive tonight, is that the club didn't make a decision to put any player out there that was a harm to themselves or anyone else. So it's a good start. But yeah, tiring week. Two things. First time I looked at Weeders tonight and thought that's concerning in terms of the application. Don't know if you saw it. Don't know if I'm reading into it too much.
I'm glad you brought it up because
Looked disinterested.
So I was
very, very disinterested.
Yeah, so I was sitting 3 or 4 rows from the front row, just behind the goals, Carlton cheer squad end, right? And his reaction time to 3 of Josh Tracy's leads was just completely off. I mean, you know, whether he's feeling heavy mentally from the week and it's all getting to him, like whatever, but the normal Weedering reaction time was just not there. It was very, very strange. And then there was a passage of play. I don't know what the chat is saying about Lewis Young. I hope Lewis Young doesn't cop shit tonight because I thought, first of all, he was excellent. There was a passage of play in the end of the third, when Jeremy Sharp kicked that second goal. So Lewis Young was screaming for like a good 30 seconds for someone to come to the goal line. And I looked around and they all just, it was when that lack of belief started really kicking in, and they were all just like looking at themselves, looking at the ground, and then eventually I think Newey snapped out of it and like directed. It was very strange behavior.
Yeah, they just don't look connected. And Weedering, I don't know. Maybe I'm going too early, but I've definitely gone too early when I say this. But this is how I felt, so I'll say it. Gave me Charlie vibes tonight from last year. And I'm not saying he's out the door, but it was very, very familiar watching Weeders tonight. Just looked as disinterested as he's ever been, which is a big, big concern. Big concern, because he's the last one that I would look at and think that they are disinterested, but he kind of wore it on his face tonight at times. So I'm probably reading into it too much. Hopefully not the case, but definitely a watch for me. And second and final point, Adam Cerra. Oh, I'll be careful what I say.
I think a lot of us feel it. I think in that position, maybe.
Needs to be dropped, Tez. Needs to be dropped. Yeah, this is a guy in that midfield who's getting paid well, who is 25, 26 years of age, been in the system for 8 years of AFL football. And there were, I reckon, 4, 5, 6 moments tonight where, and I'm not saying it would have won us the game, but where we were surging forward and it came undone purely at the fault of Adam Cerra. I'm happy to say it. No issue. Like, we're talking handballs to feet, can't hit a target by foot, holding the ball calls just because trying to do too much with it and holding on to it for too long. Like, this has been a pattern now for far too long with Ches. Far too long for a guy that should be leading from that midfield unit, and he's not. He's just not. So I look at a guy like Cooper Lord who comes back in after a long layoff, and he was good tonight. He was good. That's what I would expect from Adam Cerra. And we're getting donuts from him at the moment, mate. Donuts.
Yeah, look, I think in that position, you've either got to be like an elite kick or super quick, super dynamic. And I don't think he's either of them. And it just shows, because then you see Freo have got these levels in there. They'll just put Hayden Young in there. He's an elite kick. See that kick to Jeremy Sharp, like under the pressure, and then they'll just rotate Shea Bolton through there, and then it just gives them something completely different. And then, you know, they've got their stalwarts in Brayshaw and Sarong, but their rotations all seem to give something different. We don't.
And
really have that.
Speaking of rotations, just quickly, that centre bounce brigade tonight. I've been hearing people screaming for Ben Ainsworth to be thrown in there. Maybe there's a reason why he's not thrown in there so often. And I'm not having a pot shot at Ben, because I think he's brilliant at what he does, just generally. but he went to about 3 or 4, maybe 5 centre-bounce attendances tonight and didn't have any impact whatsoever. So I know that it's quick to jump at coaching decisions and why don't we do this and this player would be great in there and that'll win us the game. Not always the case. Not always the case. And I think we need to start recognising that maybe regardless of what moves we make on game day at times, doesn't actually matter because the application from this playing group, what I'm seeing every other week is that they are a completely disconnected unit at the moment. And it maybe outside of a handful of players, it just feels like none of them really want it enough at the moment. They just don't. And it's funny, and I know I've said I'm going to finish up after this, but I will after this. The funniest part to me is our leading goal kicker is Mitch McGovern this year, who is fighting for his life. And it's amazing what happens when a player is put under pressure to fight for their career and not be given the opportunity just because. Just because. And if I revert back to Adam Cerra, he's a guy on my radar at the moment that needs to start to be told that he is fighting for his career at the Carlton Football Club. He's one of many, but it's an example. It's an example.
Yeah.
Pressure does amazing things to people, man. Amazing things. And there's not enough pressure on not enough players at this football club at the moment.
I think that's a fair point. It's something that we've got to figure out for this next wave to build this culture, get this culture back to where it needs to be. Just I don't know. Like, yeah. Do you think because we still are able to keep in games that there's something to work with, or does that make it more frustrating for you?
It makes it more frustrating. I think I said this to you 2 or 3 weeks back. Like, it's the most frustrated I've ever been as a Carlton supporter because, like, we're clearly not shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I went to the Anzac Day game today. I watched Essendon. They're fucking shit. Like, they are terrible.
Mm.
Like, their fans go to games expecting them to get belted. And I can't say that for our group. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think we'd get belted tonight. And I actually thought that we'd be in it for a long time, and we were. So I'm kind of, I always sit back and I just, after a game at the moment, I'm just scratching my head going, what's missing? Because it's almost there, but it's still so far away. It makes no sense, mate. It makes no sense.
Mm.
There's no tangible solution to this at this point. It's just pure frustration with this group. Pure frustration. I'm broken, Tez. Genuinely broken, mate. I think we all are.
We're just mate, it definitely feels like we're rotting away a little bit. Hey, like we're just it's like a sinking ship. We're just the season, whatever is coming. But there's not that there was much hope that we'd do anything too drastic. I think a lot of us were bracing for, what was it called, like a transition year, whatever. But wouldn't mind a win at this point, just to feel a win. Go to the football, the Saints, and get a win.
It's the Saints next week. It's the Dogs at the Gabba. The Lions at the Gabba. The Dogs the week after that at Marvel. Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval the next 4. So I would almost I'd put a fair chunk of cash on us being 1-10 after all that at this point.
You don't think we can beat the Saints?
Can't see a win coming, Tez. Can't see it. Which is fucked.
Come on, Joe.
Imagine if we
can beat this.
10. No, don't. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm telling you, they've broken me, Tez. I used to do this with you. I used to go, fuck, we win the next 4. We're there. Don't worry about it. 5 and 6. Let's go. Nah, I am a broken supporter. Broken soul. They've killed me. Like, finally put the knife in the heart, twisted it, and went, Joe, you're dead. That's it. Your belief, your soul for this club is dead, and that's it. I don't know when it's going to come back. I don't know. Yeah, it's fucked.
All right.
It's just fucked.
See you next Saturday, mate.
Yeah, I'll see you. See you at Marvel next Saturday. Enjoy tonight, mate. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, mate. Joe. I think I'm lagging a little bit on my end. Sorry, guys. Vic Pro Street with the $14.99. How I feel like I don't care anymore. Used to it. Is it bad to want to lose now every week? I don't think you want to lose every week. Anthony, thank you very much for the $1. Yeah, the Dolphins. Glad I'm not the only one who's exhausted. I couldn't find it in me to do more than put the game in the background and glance at it occasionally. Don't blame you. Rocco Grasso with the $8. Was a pleasure meeting you, Terry. Can't tune in at the moment. Way too loud here at Crown. Hope you are back next year. Hopefully we can celebrate a win. Yes. Well, guys, got to meet the Roccos. I met Rocco Morrow and Rocco Grasso at the captain's run yesterday. And I mean, I knew that Rocco Morrow would be there. So like I caught up with him. That was great. And then Rocco Grasso shows up and I can't remember how the conversation went. He's like, "Oh, I'm Rocco." I'm like, "Wait, what? Rocco? Rocco who?" He's like, "Rocco Grasso." Anyway, it was great. Let's move along. Let's go to the UK. Riley.
I would say a slight improvement on recent weeks. Possibly a little bit better than I expected, but at the same time, all the same fallacies came up at the end of the day. We work incredibly hard, miss key moments, and then it just, teams against us can go just an additional gear that we can't go with. I think that sums up the game relatively well, I think, realistically.
Honestly, I think it's a very simple analysis of the game, to be honest. Yeah. To be honest, I was a bit worried that the week was too emotionally taxing for them and we might get blown out late, and this was the perfect game for Freo to finally blow out a team. And then they kind of did the punches in bunches thing that Druzy was talking about in the fourth. And then we sort of brought it back to, a respectable margin. But yeah, it's just, there's just a level and a lever short. We're a lever short that these other teams seem to have. Freo, I don't know how you watch them play. They have this control element to their game now. And maybe it's because they're at home, they're comfortable, but I was very impressed with them tonight.
They are a very good team. I don't think they necessarily would say they played at their best level tonight. But when they got up and going, they just had so many X factor players that go through their side alongside, the workmanlike work ethic, which has always been the case under Justin Longyear. They are a very solid side. And yeah, we just don't have that. Yeah, we just don't have that enough, and that's realistically been found out against everyone we've played this year, irrespective of whether it was Richmond or the Pies or tonight. We can get ourselves into positions where we can genuinely compete, but as soon as the heat genuinely gets on, we go up another gear. And I think even, and this is not pot shotting because I actually thought he played a pretty good game tonight, but even late when when Cripps got that free kick to bring it back to 14 with 3 minutes to go, it's like a puncher's chance. We miss those key moments way too consistently. And
Both
we have for 2 years. Yeah.
Cripps and Walsh had opportunities to, whatever. It might have been too late, but there's something in there. It's like moments. The coaches talk about moments, and when ours arrive, we're not up for them. And then, when the heat of the battle is ready for them.
Yeah, I think it's just a reality, that essence that we have to accept at this point in time. I agree with Joe. I am very concerned about Jacob Weering, but I've been concerned about him all year. He has not been the same since Origin. Even when he came back early, he looks like he does not want body contact. His timing is incredibly poor, and someone who I think Marshall has traditionally marshalled our back six relatively well has been, quite ordinary at times. But, the likes of Matty Carroll, I thought played a very good game on the positive side of things. So I'm still here. Wow.
I'm back. I don't know if everyone's still here, but I am back. Apologies for that, guys. I'm on the internet here. It's not great, clearly. Riley, if you're here, please return. And I will get you back in. Thanks for being patient, guys. Blue Woody, $15. Thank you, mate. Progress made. Expected a belting. We play better without Harry. Out. Ainsworth, Cerra, Jagger, tired. In. Flynn, Hewitt, Ison. Reward VFL form. Build pressure, accountability. Find those diamonds. Thank you very much, mate. All right. Daniel.
Hey, Tess, how you going, mate?
I'm good, mate. I honestly,
Yeah.
I was fearful that the stream would end, and I just like, if that'd be about right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I better keep a smile on in case it freezes on me as well, and I look half decent. How's the good on you for going over there, mate. How did you find it all? Was Optus and everything pre-game? I know the result wasn't great, wasn't to be, but you have a good trip at least.
Yeah, it's been great. I've actually really enjoyed Perth. I think it was a blessing in disguise because Melbourne footy bubble was grim this week for obvious reasons, and there's just something about coming to the interstate games because here in WA that they only get 1 or 2 games if they're lucky a year. So everyone's grateful and everyone's excited, and so I sort of caught myself being a bit of a buzzkill and people sort of like excited for the footy and excited for the club and the team. So yeah, from that point of view, it was enjoyable. And the game was a bit like didn't get belted, didn't throw in the white towel, didn't have to stay within arm's reach, played a good team, clear shortfalls, the same shortfalls that appear every week. We're just not really at the level, and yeah, bit of a weird one. What did you think?
Yeah, look, I thought, just on, Perth, the WA Blues are awesome. I went over there a few years ago, and they've always traditionally had great support. So it's good to see. You always see them get down there in numbers. So no, I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. Look, what did I think? I don't like to use the term, honourable loss. No one likes to use it. But look, pre-game, I thought, look, without Pito, without Harry, it's going to be tough against Freo, who they're a great side. I mean, and they're a very balanced side. Like, I can't see any obvious weakness. I was talking to some friends who were over. I think their biggest weakness is themselves in the sense that they don't have that winning. They've made a grand final in the past, but they've always kind of been a bit of the butt of everyone's jokes. But I think they're building something really, really special. So I think their weakness is probably themselves and their own self-belief, but they look like a really, really solid, whoever's in charge of their list manager. Actually, I think is it Robert Walls' son that's their list manager? I believe it might be.
Sure. I'm not sure.
I believe it might be Robert Walls' son, and he's clearly they've done a fantastic job. So in that sense, mate, look, I certainly didn't expect to win, and I thought the first quarter we were getting absolutely killed in the clearances. I think on the Fox Footy on the ticker there, it showed it was like 12-0 at one point. So I thought we did really, really well to wrestle back control. We're really good in the second quarter, especially. Stayed with them till the third, halfway through the third. I mean, we got to within 5 points, but that's when the class outshone. And like others have said, and you've just touched on there, we just don't have it in that. It's those moments. Again, I hate using that word, moments, but it really comes down to the moments. So
it's true.
I'll start, I guess. Yeah. So Sam Walsh, for example, look, I thought he had a good game. As he had endeavour, especially early when it looked like it could have got a little bit ugly. He kept us in it. But again, just some of those moments, his decision making, he does still turn the ball over a lot. So there was that one. I can't remember. We got the free kick, and he went to play on, and he got run down by Murphy Reed. I think we were like 4 or 5 points down at that point. We had an inside 50 if he just didn't take the advantage. Not saying we would have kicked the goal. And then I think from that, it went to the other side and they got one. And then that's when they got that 2-goal lead. He was also lucky. There was the one where he missed Jagger from like 15-meter pass, didn't hit Jagger. It went out. Luckily, Mason Cox kicked it out on the full. But just, those little moments. And, when you look at Freo, they've got, Shai Bolton. And he had like 14 touches and 2 goals and so many involvements in the last
Did he really?
quarter. Yeah.
He had 14.
Something like that.
I
heard it on the
remember
coverage. I'll have a look. But, it's just, again, every time we played Richmond, he'd kill us. It's that old adage, don't get beaten by what you know. And once again, now, look, people are going to go at Vossi. I know we've all criticised him about that. But, again, those errors. So in that first 5 minutes, that lapse. What you said about Lewis Young just then, I thought he was pretty good for the first 3 quarters. Just unfortunately, 2 decisions he made did cost us a goal. Now, I'm not knocking him, I'm not blaming him for the defeat. Again, it's just those moments. You don't have the class players that can stand up. Look, there were some positives, but I'll finish up on those. I always like to finish on a positive, but I'm a little bit concerned. I think Joe, raised the point about Adam Cerra. It was so frustrating watching him. I said last week on here, I thought Cooper Lord has gone past him. I thought Cooper Lord was pretty good tonight. Definitely outshone Cerra. Got a lot of clearances. Again, he's not polished. Yeah, a few turnovers on his end, but I certainly thought he had much more impact than Cerra, and he's got upside. But this was one of the last. It was almost like the sign-off of the Brad Lloyd and Brian Cook era, giving Adam Cerra a 5-year contract with his history of dodgy hamstrings, and he's hit a ceiling. He's going backwards. He cost us in that third quarter. There were moments, again, that word, where we could have, capitalized, and it was just some errors from him. But I'm really concerned to the point. I don't know who would take him. We'd almost have to do like a salary dump and almost give him away, a bit like what Collingwood did with Grundy and Treloar. You'd almost have to just pay part of his salary to get him off your books somewhere else, because I'm just disappointed.
My only thing I'd say to that is, and this is the thing it's a really interesting debate when we have it amongst ourselves. If you think he's shit, other clubs are not going to think he's better than what you think he is. So who's giving you the value for what you're going to get for these players? I get the point. Like, could be better, should be better. Like, I do get it. But you think he's shit, and you think the club that you want to trade with is just going to give you what you want for these players, because you know what I mean? Like, they also probably think what you think.
Yeah. Oh, I'd honestly take a packet of chips for him. I just want to get it. We need to move on from him. Nah, honestly, I'm not expecting a first rounder, a second rounder. If we can get a third or fourth rounder and just get him, I'm under no illusions. Yeah, we're not gonna. There's not much trade value. Again, it was an absolute blunder. I ran into Paul Sebastiani outside again. We were talking about it. Just can't believe that we gave him a 5-year deal. But anyway. Also, agree with Joe about Weering. I am concerned. First half especially, he improved somewhat in the second half, but the first half, that's what I've written on my notes here. He just doesn't look interested. He looks like he might have checked out. Is he still carrying a rib injury? I don't know. But when Mason Cox led in front of him and outmarked him with absolute ease, I think that was in the second or third quarter. Again, second quarter, and it's just, no disrespect to Mason Cox. You should not be, Jacob Weering, number 1 draft pick, full back versus Mason Cox. Okay, he's been in the system a while and he's obviously developed, not from a footy background, but you should not be getting outmarked that easily.
I think he was heavy from the week, for sure. I think all the leaders would have been wearing it, because they would have been facing it a lot. There was a lot going at the club this week, and obviously rightly so because of what had happened last week. I just thought his reaction time was just off early. He did improve as the game went on somewhat, but it was the trademark Weering. He was reactive to his opponent, who seemed to get the first dibs on the space that Weering was guarding. And he was. I thought he was in his head early, and I mean, I was at the end of the Freo goal first quarter, so I was very close to Weering. I've never really watched him from that close before. I mean, look, I think he's too good to not respond from it. My view on it was that he had just been affected from the week.
Yeah, it was, and with the late change with Ollie Hollands, I'm not surprised that he was managed. If let's take that on face value. I thought he would have just rested, but I've seen some comments. Oh, why did he travel? Over if they're going to arrest him. I'm of the different view. I think it's probably good to have him just with the group, just to
The best thing for him to do would be to, let me tell you, I mean, we were all fans in Melbourne that were at the game last week. I boarded the plane with just this angst. Perth was exactly what I needed to get out of the bubble, and I think it was the perfect place for Ollie to be. And even the players, just to get out of the Melbourne. Melbourne bubble this week was not the place to be.
Yeah.
So,
and I got to say, mate, I thought our endeavour was great. Yeah, we know we're outclassed. We don't have the skills in the list. We've got these deficiencies we need to address. But you wouldn't know that. Maybe it was perfect timing getting out of Melbourne, because I thought we showed some heart. And look, there were a lot of positives, I think, to come out of the game. Yes, that 5-minute lapse cost us again, and it's a repeat. But I think we're not giving Fremantle enough credit. They are a good side. I think they're going to be pushing top 4. Again, this is probably the most balanced. I mean, they got weapons all over the field. They're a good side, so I don't think we're as bad. But look, a lot of positives. We tried to again move the ball quick through the middle. There was some nice transition. We're not bombing as much. Whether that's because Harry wasn't there or not, we were good. Like again, I thought Ainsworth, Hayward were great. They're starting to get better and better as the time goes on. Carroll,
I didn't worry too much about our forward line. I thought, considering Harry was out and the structure fell away a bit, I thought Kemp, the way he worked Brennan Cox tonight, was really impressive. I don't know if it showed up on the screen, but he ran himself into exhaustion. By the fourth, he had nothing left. McGovern did his little bit there.
Kemp sensate. Look, Matthew Kemp is not Harry Mackay or Charlie Curnow that we used to have in terms of natural forward craft. If he kicks 2 or 3 goals a game, Terry, fantastic as that third forward. I think he's had a pretty good month, to be honest. He was good last week. Ashton Moyer, I know I've been a little bit concerned with him. Look, again, he was a little bit quiet. He did get his 2 goals though, so hopefully he builds on that. But he needs to probably get more involved. But to be fair,
he had a very tough opponent tonight.
Yeah, Alex Pearce. I mean, he's hard to beat with let alone a kid. So I think it's worth persisting with. But look, the senior players again, Newman, Haynes were pretty good. Haynes was, pretty good. I thought pretty solid, especially early. Williams was good early as well. I don't know. I know we're 1-6, and I don't think we're certainly not anywhere near the top 6. Probably not even a top 10 side. But 1-6, I think we should have at least 1 or 2 more wins on the board. Now we've got St Kilda next week. What perfect time to respond with a win, to finally to stick it up the guys who left, stick it up Ross, to probably put a nail in St Kilda's coffin really for any serious contention. They were so hyped up. It's going to happen. It's got to turn eventually, okay? And you know what? We won the final quarter tonight.
Did we?
That's probably the first. We won the final quarter. So let's take that. I know.
We even gave up 5 or 6 goals in the fourth, didn't we?
I think they kicked the 4 goals really quick, and then it kind of petered out a little bit. But we ran 5 goals straight for Freo. I'm looking at this. We kicked 5 goals 4. because we had that late little flurry at the end, which, you're never gonna, there was that 4 goals in 4 minutes at one stage. Look, they ran it out well, but look, we won the final quarter, so we've broken that hoodoo. Hopefully, look, I said today, if we got within 4 or 5 goals but showed some heart, on this occasion, I would make an exception and be content, not happy, but content with that, because I don't like honourable losses. But we were up against it. Top side, our structure decimated with no Pito, who's been... So Liam Reedy, look, he tried, but you can see... Would you have played Hudson O'Keefe instead of Reedy?
No.
Yeah.
I thought Reedy was okay.
He was okay, but you can just see he's we all thought, when TDK left, what are we going to do with Pito? And I felt tonight it was amazing to say, wow, we're desperately missing Pito out there because he's been solid. So it's just amazing how, our perspective changes now without him. But look, as I said, next week, we've got to try and knock off the Saints. I haven't seen any of the VFL, but I saw the boys got a win against Tassie, who are doing well. I think Hewitt had 39, with Billy Wilson with 40, and Ison kicked 4. Yeah, 40 touches for Billy Wilson. I haven't seen any of it. I just looked at the stats, but from what I'm reading, he's been good. So maybe some change. Jack Ison, he might not be ready yet, but he's showing signs. So, but I think Hewitt, definitely has to come in next week, at least for Cerra. Do we rest Cripps or not? I know I've been critical of Cripps. Unfortunately, he tries hard. He's a captain. He's got the spirit, but just looks like the game's getting a little bit past him. But we've said that about him before, Terry. So hopefully, but look, again, lost. Oh, you haven't. People, I think, was it Lee Matthews that called him a passenger before he won his first Brownlow?
He called him a
journeyman. So he's proved, not you, but a good chunk of the football world wrong. So let's come back. Let's go and beat St Kilda and get our season, get something out of the rest of the year. But anyway, mate, that's all from me, mate. Enjoy the rest of your trip there and go Blues.
Go Blues. Thanks, mate. Blue Woody with the 15. Progress made. Expected a belting. We played better. Oh, wait, no, that was earlier. Sorry. It was another Blue Woody one here. Weering seems to be running heavy on the ground, maybe carrying something. Special mention to Matt Carroll. Kid has pluck and loves to lean in. Yeah, he does. Weering, there was a contest at some point in maybe the first or the second. He limped away from it. He's been doing that often this year. So maybe he is carrying something. All right. Zach.
What's going on, guys? Sorry, I didn't even think I was getting caught up. How are you? What another solid night the Carlton supporters are.
Yeah, it's just going to be another one of those game reviews. It's just...
It is. I'm probably going to be that guy that people don't like that's going to be like a bit harsher and like negative, even though it's like trying to be positive. But it's more like putting the question probably to yourself and everyone else, which I'm curious on, right? So like in the chat and everyone's sort of been talking about, we won the fourth and things like that and doing better and this and that. I kind of feel like, which is concerning, we're in that point now, but you kind of feel like we're happy with like below average now. Like for us, right, let's say even when we lose a game comfortably, right, call it what it is, pretty much we had no chance, but like, oh look, we didn't get outscored by 10 goals in the third, or what I'm exaggerating, like, and we're like, oh, it's a great achievement. I feel like we're sort of getting complacent with subpar, right, which I feel like is sort of a mindset that you'd expect like like an Essendon, who what they've been their first game in what was it, like 15, 16, 17 games the other day. I'd expect it from that, but a team that has, you've got all Australians, you've got Brownlow medalists, you know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of a cop-out, right? That's like a big thing. And I hear like everyone being saying, oh, we did well. It's like we won a third. It's like, yeah, we lost the fourth.
My question to you is, let's break it down. So going into this game, before you knew what the result was, what did you go into this game thinking was going to happen?
Oh, kind of pretty much. I thought about 30 points. We did a little bit better. I think Freo probably I guess they took their foot off the accelerator a bit, like most teams do. I mean, we've actually been okay over there as well, too. I sort of stupidly, like all us Carlton supporters, got a bit excited, and was like, because we don't have the worst record over there. They're not like super dominant. Like they haven't always smashed us over there. I think they'll be okay. I think people are getting pretty excited for them. I don't think come September they do much, personally. For me, I sort of came in at like down at 25-ish points. That's 30 points. That's what I had.
Yeah. I didn't think we'd win the game. My fear was that this was the game that was set up for Freo to blow it out because of how heavy the week was. And, I just saw this emotional toll take its, the price getting paid for what had happened throughout the week. I was a bit fearful of that, if I'm honest. And then the way that the fourth quarter started, I thought, yeah, there it is. This will just blow out pretty quickly to 60. So maybe that's why people are saying, whatever, we won the fourth quarter.
Sure.
I think this game and the Adelaide game so far this year, most of us went into it thinking, oh, this could be ugly. And maybe that's why people are able to, I'm not raging at this game. I'm not accepting the loss. I'm not happy with the loss. Like, of course, I want to win the game. But, like, you can fight against it and resist it, or you can just accept that we're not good.
Oh, 100%. I think I probably accepted that. I mean, when we got the so-called win against Richmond, right? Like we'll call it a win, but was it? Yeah, we'll leave it. We'll take the win, but I mean, for me, it was just more the fact. Not even this game. I think a lot of people probably after we sort of choked against Melbourne and the North sort of saga, sort of since there, the few games, not been a lot, but a few games, it's like things that I don't think should be accepted as okay are getting accepted as okay. If that sort of makes sense. But
no,
I guess
totally,
for me, coming into this season, I was like, you know what? Like, love the pickups, the Ainsworth pickup, Florent, the Hayward, love that we like absolutely made Sydney just shit their pants and give us their future, and we got some great picks. I was like, you know what? Maybe Kerno was that sort of, call it that cancer in the locker room. Maybe like we've got some good fresh people in there ready to go. So I guess when we're coming to the season with that, like, here we go, let's go. And then it just turned to, I mean, we've won one game, and that one win was just because Richmond lynched in straight. Right? That's the biggest thing. I guess, yeah, but you know what? I think got probably like two questions really asked you. I guess everyone else tries. So my first one is with the Hayward situation, right? I think with how he was always, I'm sure we've all seen that graph, like how he was played at Sydney for years, and now how he's been used at Carlton. It's like it used to be like 70% forward or near 80% in the forward line, Sydney, and then they used him sort of in the mid and defence about 20%, 25, or 10, whatever. But now Voss is using him like 40% down sort of that middle, and then quite a bit in the back, and not much. Like, I don't understand sort of what the idea around a guy who's made a solid, like I would say a decent career, not solid. He's good. He's not like Hall of Fame, but he's good. But just changing up what he's been so good at for so many years. That's what I'm curious at, because I feel like he's, and again, I'm not the coach, that's fine, but I feel like he's pushed up. He's usually, he almost ends up popping up near the centre point a lot of the time, which is fine, but he works so well at Sydney, just leading deep from in the pocket. And I know it's different players and grounds and all that, but I don't know, it just seems sort of odd. Like
Well, tonight was a tough one to judge that on because,
I
mean, Harry's not there.
Sure.
Well, you there?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, because Harry's not there tonight. We have a pretty smallish forward line. Yeah, would love to see him kicking more goals. But, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, tonight and the last few weeks, we've also seen people say, oh, why doesn't Ainsworth get a run on the ball? So we want to bring both our half forwards out of the forward line. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the last one, because I'm sure there's other people. It's just more, it's a bit confusing. And I mean, and I'm like always last to be like, get rid of the coach. And this, I feel like that's the biggest cop out in like any sport. Doesn't matter what it is. Like, a team goes bad, it's like, fire the coach, right? At the end of the day, all these people are like their own person. But it's got to get to a point, right? Like, and this is, I'm kind of, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised with everything. I thought with everything that happened with Hollands, like that, Carlton might sort of give someone up as he made a mistake, we're going to fire or something like that. But surely it comes to a point. I mean, I don't know, like maybe no one wants to take us on. Like maybe there's no real, and I mean, at the end of the day, right, you're not just going to bring in like the season's, it is what it is. We know where it's going. It's not going anywhere. So you don't want to bring someone in for no reason. You want to bring a good coach in. I think that's the main thing. And maybe there's no one who wants to take it over. But from your point of view, when would be the point? Because what are we now? 1 and 6, 1 and 7?
Yeah, 1 and 6.
Okay, yeah. 1 and 6. Okay. And then we've got like a tough run. I mean, not thank God, but like Darcy did his knee, but like we've got the Doggies coming up. I know people think we'll beat the Saints and that, but the Saints always have it over us. I think that's, for some reason, they always just fucking get us. I think we go up to Brisbane at the Gabba as well. I think we've got Brisbane at the Gabba a few weeks after.
We have a game in Adelaide against Port Adelaide.
Yeah, and we've got Doggies at home, and then so I know we've got in the next run, it's like Saints, Doggies, Port at Port, and then Brizzy at the Gabba, and I think then we get we get like Essendon, the bye, and then I think we get, or just before that we get Geelong, and then we get Essendon, the bye, so see how we go. But like, what sort of point would you say, and this is the last thing I'll ask, until do you think they go, okay, that's enough? Like, let's say we don't win the next, let's say we're like 1 and 10. I think someone said it before. Is that it? If we're 1 and 10, would you guess?
I just don't think he'll be there next year. And so I think he's pretty much caretaker as it is until we get it right. That's what I think. I think we'll go in a new direction. Yeah, I think we'll go in a new direction. It's not front of mind in this moment, but I could be wrong. I was talking about this yesterday with someone. I think throughout the week, and people had their opinions on the presser the other day. I mean, the whole bullying comment was very interesting, and chose to go down that route. But
it's a big call to throw that out too. I was surprised that it was the angriest I've seen him ever.
Yeah, well, I think at the end of the day, he just went to defend his people as a teammate and a clubmate. But the point I was trying to make is I was having this chat yesterday, and so you've got, people want to talk about bring in the tactical genius, right? The guy that's got the new ideas, and the guy that understands, whoever that person is, whether it's Sean Grigg or Jan Siracusa or Adrian Hickmott or Skipworth, like whatever. Let's put the tactical guy here. The tactical guy has to also be able to have the ability to handle the heat. So Voss might not be the tactical guy, right? He might not have the genius innovation of footy tactics at his disposal, whatever, but he can handle the heat. So you can't, it's weird. You kind of got to have both. And I think just be very careful what you wish for when you want a guy that
No, I'm with you. Everyone wants to dive off, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's the whole thing. It's the grass always greener. It not always is. And I mean, if you pull the pin and someone takes on a team right now that's in this position, especially everything else going on outside the club, I couldn't imagine a coach that's really looking to, we've got the horse, right? He might be looking to come back. He did well at Sydney. A coach like that isn't going to take on something like this. So someone who takes the club on right now, whether they are, that's a guess. It's a guess. But what I'm saying is I don't think to push him out and say, we need to get someone else in is always the best idea. But I was just curious to see how long do you reckon they let it go? Because I've never seen a coach have, so much heat and such a bad run and still be there in any sport, basketball, whatever it is, right?
Well, the skeptic in me says that we've still got one more lever to pull before we do anything drastic. And that's, I don't know if you've heard me say it, but the external review, we haven't just pulled that one out of haven't pulled that one out yet. We're going to undertake an external review and, understand everything. That'll buy us a little bit more time. So I've seen this one before.
Look, I think you're absolutely right. I'll leave it there. All I'll say is too, for God's sakes, get Hewitt, because we're going to end up doing a Kennedy and give him away. He's going to leave for nothing. Get him back in the side. He's killing the VFL. And then also with Ashton Moore, he's killing it, man. Even in the VFL last year, he killed it. Just we're not going to go anywhere. Give him game time in the big boy leagues and
Just
get him
sit
up
in
there. He knows how to kick goals. He's got that natural ability. Get him in there and just go from there. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt, right? What's he going to do? Not kick a goal, but he's still going to get an AFL game at the G or wherever under his belt. But enjoy. Let's see how we go. It'd be nice to beat Saints. I'd love to see TDK on nearly 2 million get absolutely smashed by Pitto or whoever's racking against him. And I'd love to see Jack Silvani just do what he always does, which is nothing. So that'd be nice.
Mate, thanks for calling in. That was awesome.
Enjoy. See you guys.
See you, mate. I really enjoyed that. That was a great chat. Jesse here in
Hello,
WA.
Kenny. How are you, mate? How was your day today? Did you enjoy WA for your first experience?
I
Although
loved
with the win.
WA. I loved WA. I loved Perth. The game was like whatever. The stadium's awesome. The game kind of
enjoyed it.
played out how it did. It was a bit meh, but mate, thank you very much for the hospitality. You guys were so nice today. Yeah, you really made the experience.
Oh, well, we try to do our little part as we can, but no, thank you as well for coming down, and I think it was great for our viewers and listeners in our crowd as well to actually just hear someone talk from a fan point of view. You know, like we get this with the beauty of your platform, but sometimes on the radio program and then obviously our events and stuff, we don't actually have that just personal one-on-one connection, just chatting and just hearing how the average supporter feels about the club. So that was really good to be able to have a conversation with you up on stage about that. So we really thank you for your time that you were able to give us today. So it wasn't our biggest event. That was probably, if anything, you've probably been to one of our smallest events that we've ever had. So I don't know what you took from it, but when the ball gets rolling, definitely come over here again, because when the ball gets rolling, it's a good vibe over there.
Oh, listen, I'll be back for sure to the WA games, and just to paint the picture for those who have not been to Perth. So pre-game functions at a pub called the Camfield right outside the stadium. It's just massive, and there's just massive, loads of people, and I think
it's the third biggest pub in the southern hemisphere or something like that. It's some ridiculous mark that it makes. I don't know.
It's amazing. No, I was very impressed. Yeah, the WA Blues put on the pre-game function, and there was, I thought there was a lot of people there, but you're telling me that was a small function considering what you're used to. So, I highly recommend people getting down, coming to WA for the WA games.
Yeah, no, it's obviously it's a cracking vibe, and unfortunately this year we only get the one game this year, which was which we're very privileged to be able to host such an event on Anzac Day as well. I think obviously lest we forget to all those that have served and still servicing our great military and protecting us as well. So to anyone out there at the moment that is serving or has served, we tip our hat to you. But I actually didn't. I felt like I had the privilege of being able to jump in on a Zoom meeting with Jordan Russell yesterday afternoon, and I actually thought that a lot of things that they, when you have that conversation with people and they say, we're going to do this, we're going to look at this, we're going to do that, and you sort of, it's just sort of like a throwaway sort of line. I actually thought that a lot of things that Jordan Russell was saying, they actually did try to implement today in one way or a different form. Small little things like just in the midfield, I directly approached Jordan and said, like, what's going on? Like, there's something going on in this second half that's completely breaking down. Can you give us a bit of insight? And what you're trying to do, is it a different strategy? Are you going in with a strategy for the first half? Are you having to shift and change the way you play in the second half to be able to adapt to whatever's going wrong? And he basically broke it down to that. They know that there's 5 to 8 minutes where they are just lapsing in concentration completely, where we're getting smashed on all fronts of the entire ground. And that's where I reiterated to him. I was like, well, it's good that you're able to identify that, but are we actually putting things in place different strategies to be able to combat that. And he said, well, for today's game, essentially, they were going to push the defenders a little bit, the wingers a little bit more defensively. They wanted Ollie Florent to attack the midfield a bit more, but also have the front half forwards push up to assist with the midfield a bit more, which in patches I actually did start to see, and I went, oh, okay. So because I'd been spoken about that sort of thing, I was sort of narrowing in on that and like going, well, are they implementing it? And I actually thought they actually are. They're trying to do what they're being coached. Sometimes it's coming off and it looks sort of scratchy, but I can see the method. And then sometimes it's not coming off at all. But I was like, at least one thing I can take away from today's game is I was like, I was lucky enough to have a conversation with someone that's in the inner sanctum, and they're saying we're trying to implement this, and then actually to see them try to implement it on the ground was quite reinforcing from a supporter's point of view to go, okay, they're trying something. I don't know how you saw it shape out on the field, but from what I had, the little brief discussion I had with Jordan Russell, to what they were implementing, I was like, at least they're trying something.
Yeah, I just find myself summarizing the games very similarly this year, and it's I will not question the desire and the effort and the want and the willingness of this group this year. I just think it's that old adage of working hard, not working smart, is what's getting us where we are. And then there's just this harsh reality, and I'm not just accepting mediocrity. I'm just accepting the reality. We are 2 to 3 levers in game short. Freo have this ability to just like kill 6 minutes and just stifle momentum, get the ball end to end with the width. And they just sort of have this collective understanding and togetherness of when to do that and what they're doing. We don't have that. There's always, I mean, they had an unchanged lineup this week, Fremantle, for example. And then, for us, we've had the week that we've had. Reedy's playing in the ruck. It takes time to synergize with your ruck, how the ball's falling off his hands. They're so used to Pitto. So all these little things add up. And then there's just this other collective disconnect because some of the players are new and they're still settling in. And you got to learn how to work together as a team by being in the shit together in a weird way. So we're just not in sync. We try really hard. We're just not in sync. I actually saw us trying to move the ball off the angle a lot better tonight and even last week against Collingwood. As soon as we get that ball, we are really trying to move it and change the angle. I can see it. I can see it happening. And
someone like Matt Carroll, when you put the ball in his hands, he's trying to shift the angles. He's trying to shift and change the position of the ground and open up and at least give us some sort of space to play into. It's just a matter of how many times we can get the ball into his hands. But it definitely looks like there's some aspects that they're actually trying to move the ball in a different way, which we haven't seen in. Do you know what the biggest thing for me is? I was speaking to David Rees-Jones, had the privilege of having him on the studio today, and like we know, everyone knows we're a fantastic stoppage side, but when the going gets tough, we tend to revert to this long down the line because we know if it goes out to the boundary, it's a stoppage. But when the tide, and this is what I said to not Ash Hansen, Jordan Russell, I said, everyone knows we're a good stoppage side. But when we start to revert to going down long down the line to bring in a stoppage when we're getting beat at stoppage at our own game, is that not the time to start to focus on scores from turnover, on defensive 50 rebounds? Because that's when I feel like we as a club need to have a plan B and go, we're going down the line because we know we're strong at stoppages, but we're currently getting beaten at stoppages. So by going down the line, that's not going to help us at all. So we need a completely different strategy to be able to combat that and go hard and attack the footy and attack it and play with instinct, because when we do use our hands and we get that link up through our hands, we're actually pretty quality football. We can show that our football can match it up to some of the better sides in the competition. I was there at opening round for that first half. the boys looked on. And you see the way Sydney are at the moment. So it just makes me think like a lot of people might think we're a long way off, which I think is fair enough. But I actually don't think we're as far off as what a lot of people make it out to be.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying. I don't know how you fix it in season, but
No,
the belief factor of the group. I just watch the group collectively. It's beyond dropping in confidence at this point. The way I watch it, anyway. I don't think this group truly, in the depths of their souls, believe that they're going to win some of these games, and that invites the pressure. They're almost now comfortable in the habit of inviting the pressure because it's kind of all they know. They just haven't been able to like break through. It's like there's the old adage of like the butterfly is in a cocoon, right? And it has like a little bit of like light at the top of the cocoon, but it's not strong enough to break through yet because the wings aren't developed. So it's got to keep pushing up and up. And I just don't know. We might be a dud butterfly. Maybe we were born without wings, so we'll never get out of the cocoon. It feels like that sometimes.
Oh, it's such a shame because it feels like none of us want to go into this rebuild stage again and go through the green shoots and all that aspect again. But I posed a question to Hyphen today, and I think it's been floated around a little bit lately within all sorts of Carlton socials. But I personally don't believe we've brought, because I look at someone like Zach Butters, who's available at the end of the year, and like he would fit our midfield pretty much. Like he is an A-grade midfielder. Yeah, you'd be paying up, but he's got the speed, he's got the talent, he's got the ball use, he's got everything that Carlton lacks in the midfield. But we're not even categorically in the conversation. But I look at him and go, well, why not us? Well, why not us? Because if I'm honest with you, Terry, I don't think we've brought an A-grader through trade period since Chris Judd. An absolute A-grader. That will change the game for you. Now, I think Zach Butters can change games. I don't think we've brought anyone in. We talk about big names, Daisy Thomas, Zach Williams, Mitch McGovern, all these sort of guys on big pay packets. None of them have turned and have been able to convincingly win us games off their own boot. And Chris Judd's given us one of the greatest moments of a lot of our lifetime. You know, for someone that's 27, that 2013 elimination final. It's one of the greatest memories we're ever going to have. But I don't think the club has brought in any single A-grade talent since 2007, and that's a massive knock on the CFC, that emblem that sits on our jersey that everyone walks into when they walk into that club every day. I just don't see anyone that we can say tip off the hat. We may have developed a few, Weering, Walsh, those sort of likes. But
So
I don't know where you feel about that.
no, it's a great comment. I think at the end of the day, you are where you are as a football club based off all your previous decisions, right? So these contracts we gave out, were they the right call? You have to say no. I actually think Hewitt was a rare one that you give that a tick. Like Hewitt's actually been a pretty good acquisition overall.
And he was last minute, wasn't he? He was last minute of the trade period. Or was that Newman?
No, Newman was last minute.
Yeah.
I know Sard right now is not, playing footy at the highest level, but he did make an All-Australian team. He did play at a really high level.
Give that a tick.
But yeah, look, that's just the reality. Our decision making at the time, we got it wrong for a number of reasons. But just go back. It's just you can bring in whatever player and whatever coach. I mean, look at the culture of the club. It's not the culture of the football club will make any players who buy into it. If the culture is right, you'll turn any of these guys into premiership players. Look at the champion teams. They got their culture right, and they turn these guys that you didn't talk about as champions before they won their premierships. Now you do. So we can go after the next big fish. Cool. We could go after Zach Butters. But I mean, unless the culture of the football club actually changes for the better, we're going to keep doing this for a long time, Jesse. I'll be in Perth in 2036, and Lucas Koutafidis will have had a good solid
Luke,
game,
yeah.
19 touches
He
and a
just wanted to
goal.
kick five last night in his seniors debut.
Yeah,
But Keith will be all over that.
you know what
Good.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we got to get the fundamentals of this club right.
Oh, we do. And you're so right about the culture aspect, because that's what, like, obviously got the privilege of being able to have a relationship and talk to David Rees-Jones most weekends. And just, it's never about him and what they achieved or what he was able to achieve from the side. It was always what they were able to do as a collective. And it wasn't about, they had to go out and talk to each other about how they trained or how they did things. They just knew what was expected. And I think that's the thing. They knew what was expected from each and one of each other. And they just went out there and they did it on a Saturday afternoon because they knew they had people that had pride for wearing the emblem across their chest. And they just went out and did it, not for the money, just for the love of the game. They went out and they did it for the emblem. And it's all, I know it's all fixatious to say, like, oh, we should do it for the emblem. We should do it for the, the history and everything. And I know it's very easy to revert back to that sort of stuff, but there's a meaning to it. And there's a few of these players as well. You look at Matty Carroll. He's a born blue bagger. Look at the way he plays. He has a crack. He has that absolute go. Harry Dean. When he loses the contest, it means something to him. It doesn't just mean something that he's lost a contest because it's him. It looks like he's lost a contest for himself, but for his club. Like, it means something to him. And at least we're getting some caliber into the side that look like they want it. I think that's something that's common.
What else do you think is common between those two guys, for example? You know what comes to mind?
Harry Dean
and Matt Carroll.
Matt Carroll. Oh, just a bit of desire.
So when you were listing them, you know what came to my mind? Well, they haven't been given their big contracts yet.
Well, neither, yeah.
And I'm not saying that they'll definitely become arrogant and not,
No, of course not.
Yeah, but the truth be told, most of these players that come through, we see their first 4 to 5 years of their career. You're like, wow, look at the future. Soon as that big 5-year deal comes through, or whatever we give these players now, their will to improve goes away. Like, Cripps is the rare one, I would say. Who else? Who else has had a big long-term contract given to them and they continue to improve?
I think maybe Walsh is really having he looks like he's got his speed back a bit, Walsh, since he's big. But he's not putting wins on the boards for us.
Walsh has been good. Walsh has been good this year. Cripps.
Yeah.
Weering's been playing at a really consistent level for a long time.
Yeah. I think someone with Cripps, and a lot of people might criticise Cripps, but I think he's starting to become a lot of people need to realise Cripps is a smart enough footballer and he's been around for a long time that he can see and probably adjust to games better than what we can understand. And I think he realises it's going a very quick pace and the game's going to get quicker from him. So he's probably consolidating more into being that mid-side bull and getting it, which is what we want people to do, is get it from inside to out. And then it gives Walsh the opportunity to use his speed on the outside. So
Cripps
I think
just needs to be the first person at the ball. That's it.
He does. He just needs to be at the contest.
I don't need Cripps to have 35 and a goal every game, personally. I don't need to see it. If Cripps is having his 23 to 25 a game, 6, 7, 8 clearances like he usually does, like first use, gets it out to his runners, he's playing his role. Like, we don't need him to be the superhero anymore.
We need him getting it from the cold source out to the out. And if he's doing that every contest, every stoppage, then he's doing his job.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are very easy to pile on Patrick Cripps and saying, well, he's not getting 35 disposals and that. He's gone past that sort of part of his game. I think he's smart enough to know that he just needs to get it out to outside runners. So he's going to be the big ball that goes in and gets the ball and gets it out to people.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they're smart enough and wise enough to use the ball correctly to enter. And this is the thing as well. We've gone from last year being one of the best suppliers inside forward 50, getting the ball inside forward 50, but the way we converted, horrendous. We were one of if not 18th in the competition for conversion rates from our entries inside 50. Now this year, I think we're 6th or between 8th, from what Jordan Russell was mentioning to me, 6th or 8th for conversion inside forward 50, but we have the worst supply in the AFL.
Yeah.
So we've gone from having the best supply in the AFL to the worst supply in the AFL, from having one of the worst conversions in the AFL to now a better conversion in the AFL. But we just can't match. It just can't find an equilibrium. We can't find something, just balance.
Yeah.
And that's what kills probably everyone, I think.
Yeah. No, mate, it's great points that you've raised. And yeah, thank you as always for calling in and raising them. And yeah, thanks again for today.
No, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
The whole committee. You know, it was awesome. And we'll be back and I'll bring more people with me. We'll definitely come to WA.
Oh, mate. Well, guess what? I'll be back over in July for the Carlton Brisbane game. Geez, what a horror show that's probably going to end up being. But I'll be there and look forward to catching up with all you Melburnians again. It'll be fantastic.
For sure. You have a good night, mate.
Mate, you take care. Sleep well.
See ya. Ando.
Hey, Tez, how's it going, man? You hear us all right?
I can hear you loud and clear. We sat, right next to each other or like in front of each other for the game. And yeah, what'd you think?
I thought Matty Carroll was fantastic. I thought Zach Williams had moments of brilliance. Running out of the back line, he just looked like a man possessed at times and was absolutely fantastic to watch. Brody Kemp, what a shining light he was up forward with his 4 goals. That was bloody
really
magnificent.
That might be what I mean. After a loss, it's hard to see it, but I'm just trying to think that might be one of his better games together with the game he played against the Bulldogs last year at Marvel. But this was away from home against a good opponent. And I mean, we were there. We were sitting right behind the goals. He worked Brendan Cox into complete exhaustion.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was coming of age for him. It's interesting because he seems to come over here and kick goals. I don't know what it is about Optus Stadium. It's just, he gets his tail up and he dominates. And it's fantastic to see because, he went in the first round. I can't remember which year he was recruited, but, he's a first round pick. And I think we're actually starting to generate some fruits of his labor. And I would love to see him continue to generate that confidence and build that confidence and go about really grabbing the bull by the horns and becoming that beacon up forward for us.
Mate, you and I, we had that chat just at 3/4 time and maybe start of the fourth. That 5-minute patch before 3/4 time, you and I had that chat about the belief and just, I can't remember what had happened. It was on that far right wing and we'd get the ball. We would wait for the tackle rather than try and make the play and get it into space over the top. It were little things, but when Freo turned the heat up, it was as if our guys just didn't want to lift the standard to what Freo were pushing it to, or just didn't believe in themselves. I do wonder how we fix that.
Yeah, and I think it does speak to what Vossi says about owning moments. We just don't own moments. There are portions of, there's moments in games that we just, that handball misses its target or that kick is just slightly errant. And, coming back to what Sam Mitchell says about, for handball is supposed to be here, but it's here, then that's not on. That's not what we want. That's not the quality that we aim for. And it's the same sort of situation. If we just owned those moments better, we wouldn't have those massive shifts of momentum, those lapses. Because as soon as you see that moment is lost, you can see the players' heads drop And that's when the opposition gets those rallies of 5 goals. Once those flurries kick in, it's just like shit. If we just had owned that moment on the wing there and turn it into a forward thrust for us, rather than Freo turning it into an opportunity for them, who knows what could have happened. Anyway, I mean, another key moment for me was, and look, I'm not going to crap on the guy because he's been an absolute stalwart for us, but that 7-point play for Cripper, it could have been a 12-point play. He could have slotted that left foot snap and then, maybe followed it up with another goal later on. Like, it's just moments, little moments.
It was Walsh that missed into Cripps that missed, and then I think he kicked one after that. But yeah, mate, the game's brutal. It's like it's all millimeters and inches. And there was a passage of play. We had Freo under the cosh. Balls in our forward half. Then they came in and Hayden Young kicked that bullet across his body and found Jeremy Sharp. And I'm just like, wow, like we had applied such good pressure. And then it just got me thinking in that moment, like, who's that player for us that can do that? Zach Williams, maybe in that scenario, maybe he can pull off that kick.
Do we lack X Factor? Do you think we lack X Factor?
Badly. So I think, the Cerra's conversations come up tonight, and Cerra's a nice, solid, average player. Average player is a compliment. To be an average AFL football, you're pretty good at the game. I just sense that in his position, you've either got to be like an elite kick who can pinpoint targets and have good timing, or you've got to be really quick and nimble and dynamic. And I think he's neither, and that's why we keep having this conversation every week.
He was that player in 2022, though. He had moments in 2022 where he could really look like he could take a game on and do some amazing things. I mean, dare I speak about it, but that final round of 2022 against Collingwood where we choked and didn't make it into the 8, he was a general. I don't know.
Is it maybe he's because it's happened in nearly every game he's played since returning. He'll have like a regulation kick and it'll just come off a little bit more to the left side of his boot or whatever. And it's bizarre because I know he's got it in him. So I don't know if he doesn't have confidence in his body and his hamstrings, if he's had an interrupted preparation, whatever the case may be. It's just strange to watch him play at the moment because he's got more to give, but he just, can't elevate.
And there are a few players like that where you know that they have more to give, but they're just not giving it at this very point in time, whether it's their body, whether it's the mental resilience that you were talking in your Mens Sana Incorporate Sano episode the other day. That mental resilience piece is super important because we don't have it at the moment. There are moments in games where, we missed the moment, and instead of just cracking in and saying, right, second effort, let's make another moment happen, it's just like, we lost that moment, so fuck it, I'm not going to crack in again. Just need that mental resilience.
Tonight? Did you see behaviours tonight that showed the mental resilience that we're after?
Yeah, the late fight back, I thought that was pretty special, and that was really good to watch, and it gave my son Caleb a lot of excitement because he was resigned to the fact that we weren't going to win, but then all of a sudden there was just this spark in his eye, like it was a bit of magic for him to see us fight back. I could see that Freo maybe took the foot off the pedal maybe a little bit, but by and large it was up to us to make that comeback happen. And look, we almost got there. It was 14 points at the end. Who knows? Anyway, there were moments in the second quarter as well where I've watched us in the past butcher opportunities, like a Charlie Curnow gets a free kick in the forward 50 and just doesn't capitalise on the opportunity. Well, the free kicks that we got in our forward 50, we actually make use of those. And
that's
we
true.
Goals. We converted, and that was super important. And that gave us momentum going into halftime.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's just the life of a Carlton supporter. You just sort of resigned to the idea of going through these motions. I mean, there were scenes in 2023 where it looked like we were going to go all the way. And an impressive start to 2024, but we won't talk about last season. And it just makes you wonder when it's going to be our time. When will it be our time? Does that come down to some more inspired recruiting, some more innovative stuff like you were talking to Jesse before, and the WA Blues, my boys, my crew, absolute legends. Look, just it makes you wonder. Just when. What is it going to be? Is it recruiting? What is it? What's going to be that turning point, that catalyst that launches us into the next phase of successful Carlton?
Or even just at this point, I'm thinking, when are we going to get that page-turning chapter like what the D's have done, where it's fresh and everyone kind of knows, like, we're on the march up, we're on the way up, and I actually don't know if we'll ever accept a rebuild, even though we know it's going to be. I think no matter what, we'll always have pressure for a result. That's ingrained in the club. That's part of the culture of the fan base, and that's fine. That is what it is. I don't know. Like, I'm at this point, I'm really looking forward to when the seas of change come and we can get behind whatever the next movement is. Because right now it's just like we're still in the Voss era, and whatever, like however long that's going to last will be. I'm just looking forward to when it's genuinely exciting again.
Yeah. Like a Cody Walker's carving it up, a Lucas Koutafidis is carving it up. The likes of Harry Dean coming of age. Seeing Harry O'Farrell back in the lineup and seeing him dominate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see Jags. I want to see him step up, and I just hope that he becomes the player that he would love to have become. If he didn't do that ACL in his first season, I want to see him become the player that he wants to become. I want to see Cooper Lord, their best mates. I want to see those two guys really duking it out together on the field and building that next lot of Carlton culture and building that mental resilience that we need to achieve success.
Yep. Well, mate, it was an absolute pleasure to spend the game with you, and great to properly connect with you as well. And thanks for this evening, and see you again.
Likewise, Terry. My exact sentiments, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And pleasure and honour to meet you, man. And talk Carlton. Absolute pleasure.
Go Blues.
Go Baggers. See you, bro.
Good man. Jake.
G'day, Tez. Good to see you again.
Yes, mate. It's the WA contingent tonight. It's good.
Yeah, we're
I
up
think
and
the
about.
the time difference, because those in Melbourne right now, or on the East Coast, it's 20 to 1 in the morning.
20 to 1,
so we might be losing a few of them. But the WA, it's not too bad.
Yeah. I went to the game tonight thinking we were going to lose by 10 goals. I really rate Freo this year. You look at Tracy, you look at Patrick Voss was a laid out, but I was like the three-headed monster. If Tracy doesn't get it, then Voss will get it, then Amos will get it. And, what did Amos kick, 3 or 4? Tracy kick 3 or 4. That guy is a monster. If Harry could have an ounce of his attack on the footy and the player, he'd be twice as damaging. I really rate him. And their midfield, fast, skilled. So I'm back to honourable loss territory, which some people would hate, but I don't know. It's probably a coping mechanism, you could say, because I was down early on, but now I looked at Collingwood, Adelaide, and this week, and I've gone, honourable loss. I do think we are close. It's like all of a sudden a switch will flick. I'm not ready to blow the place up. We will never do another rebuild like we did in the late 2010s. I do think it will turn. I'm seeing growth. Yeah, call me crazy, but I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are making it out to be. It's a couple of missed handballs here and there that cost us. That
Yeah.
repetition will eventually turn it around. I'm still there.
Yeah, fair. I've seen Carlton teams wave the white flag, and you know, I think towards the end of David Teague's reign, like I saw genuine waving of the white flag. I
Yeah,
don't think this team right now is waving the white flag. I just think they're just not good enough. If anything, I probably see them not believe as well. So I see the effort and the intensity, and they want it. It just I don't know if you've seen the show House of David, but like they go from using bronze or metal swords, and then like the new innovation was the bronze sword. So it's like the bronze sword is like a lot more stronger. I just think we don't have the updated weapons. We haven't downloaded the we haven't downloaded the updated weapons. We're still using old weapons.
Yeah, can we get AI on the field somehow? Yeah, no, I'd once again, besides what 5 minutes again, we played well. There was some structural things in the middle that I was really questioning. We just kept giving them that tap out the back to Brayshaw, got smacked in the taps. We were a bit too aggressive with our structure in the middle. I thought we should have gone to trying to read their taps that should have happened sooner. But then again, when we flicked the switch late, we were doing some set plays out of the middle as well, and it was paying off. So perhaps they do just need to back themselves, and like I was saying earlier, that it'll eventually click.
Yeah. Look, we missed. Yeah, I didn't know what to make of Liam Reedy. I can see it's a weird one because he needs games, but I don't think he can play with Pitto in the same team. And I think Pitto's the better ruck. So
definitely,
it was pleasing to see that at least he can kind of hold his own. I mean, he got beaten today by Jackson, and that's fine. Jackson's great, but it was pleasing to see that he can at least hold his own if needed. The issue is, and I don't know if you can just get this from training, like you've got to be able to read the ball off your ruck's hands, and that takes time, which we don't have.
No. I think he, as a ruckman, his kicking isn't bad. He did a couple of kicks into the 50. Yeah,
there's something there. There's not nothing. Yeah, there's something there.
He's a solid number 2, and you can see why he was the number 3 or 4 choice at Freo, because they've got some really high class talls there. I'm actually going to tip us next week against St Kilda. I'm a psycho. I reckon it's going to click against St Kilda because we'll have that extra bit of chutzpah about us wanting to show Tom and Jack.
Yeah, maybe, but also the difference is, so a lot of people have said, like, the Saints usually have our number. We are usually the favorite in these games. We will not be the favorite next week. It will be, and when St Kilda are expected to beat us, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. All right, mate. Well, my phone's on 3%. I appreciated meeting you today. Thanks for that, and I will see you around.
For sure. Take care, Jake. Alex, is that you? Alex?
That is me, mate.
The blast from the past.
Oh no, fuck, it's been a while, hasn't it?
You are like OG. Like
Man,
early
we're
days.
talking like we're talking 2018 OG.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
like we've been through some shit, man.
yeah.
What's
How you doing?
going on? What's going on, mate? What's going on?
Man, I'm just sitting here in a hotel room in Perth. I came to watch one of the most regulation losses that you'll see. But yeah, whatever. I'm just sitting here rotting away, hoping that one day we catch success. But yeah, how are you absorbing everything?
Man, we're just back at that honourable loss stage, aren't we? Like
Yeah.
it's sad to say, but that's just where we're at the moment. Like we look good in patches, we look good in times, but it takes about 5-10 minutes of solid pressure and you know, we're out of the game. Like it's just that simple. And teams know that. Teams know, they go into those, 3/4 time huddles or whatever, and they just go, hey, let's just ramp up the pressure a little bit and they'll crumble. And you saw that in the first, 5 minutes of the last quarter. They ramped up the pressure. Obviously, the clearance game was working big time for them. Couple of quick goals and the heads went down pretty quickly. And yeah, it was out to 40, nearly 50 points pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And that's just the problem. We're just, you look at even the good patches that we did have, like when we had our foot on the throat a little bit, we didn't execute where it mattered on the scoreboard. And that's just been an issue. We've had moments where we've had the foot on the throat, just waiting for the kill, and we're just not good enough to do it. That's just the reality at the moment.
Yeah, I think we had one more scoring shot than Fremantle for the night, and I reckon two of them fell agonizingly short on the goal line, like either marked on the goal line or just rushed over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting because
Yeah,
I thought early we got smashed at clearance early. I think it was 12-3 at quarter time. Like Freo really like dialed it up early, and they came prepared. And I thought we're only down by 8. But yeah, there's just always that period of time where the opposition gets their run on, and the belief just kicks in. We don't have it as much as what the opposition does.
I mean, look, those runs are inevitable. Like in today's footy, the game moves so quickly and all that. It's almost like watching basketball at a point as well. The game moves so quickly. Like runs are going to happen for the opposition, but you've just got to do a better job at halting that. And our system and our structure just around defensively and all that, it's just not there. We just allow too easy out the back. We allow those little chip passes for them to just work their way into it and all that. Like, I mean, we did have moments where we actually made them kick long down the line and we actually forced things and we were actually able to transition from it. We just don't have that mentality to do it enough. And like just some of the simple skill errors, like it's funny, we obviously preseason had that video of, that Bucky took with, all the skill errors and all that sort of stuff. And we all just thought, it's all good. And then we come to game day and that's actually what we're seeing. So I'm sitting here and going, well, at training, like, are these little attention to details and all that, are they really like honing in on that stuff? Because what you saw there is what you're seeing in game. And like, that's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Like I watched a video the other day of Dan, obviously, Dan Gorringe. He did like a little doco of when he trained with Hawthorn. And he was he had footage of there in the rooms and you could hear sort of Sam Mitchell talking. And he was just explaining to the group about sort of like, it was in relation to golf, but it was in relation to the skills in the game going, well, these players over here, if they get the ball, close to the green, some of them are looking like, oh, hell yeah, like that's a great shot. While other players who are better at their golf are looking at that and going, well, fuck, I could have got it even closer. So it's like, it's the attention to details. Like if you are off it by even just this much, it could be the difference between you being a good side, a shit side, or a great side.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took a lot from that because I just look at Hawthorn and I just go, Like they weren't where we were too far ago. Like in 2024, they were 0-5, and you look at them now. Like I just think our attention to detail and all that sort of stuff's it's just not cutting it at the moment.
Yeah, it's the old precision versus approximate
Yeah,
when it comes to that conversation. Yeah.
yeah. I think we're just happy with approximate at the moment, and we're not happy with precision.
So what, like, is it reasonable to expect like we're going to get some sort of, I don't know, positive momentum in the season? Like, are we just going to keep losing every week because everyone knows how we play and we've figured out? Like, surely there's going to be, I don't know, a 3 to 4 week stretch where we start getting results, or does this just keep sinking until the end of the year? Like,
man, I'm just scared that they've forgotten how to win again.
yeah.
And when you forget when you forget how to win, fuck, mentally, man, it's so hard to get out of that. It's just gonna take one win, but it's gonna take a good win against a good side if we can pluck one, where then the mentality might shift and go, oh, all right, like we hacked it with these better sides and we actually got over the top of them. Now we can just, I think they need a win just to free their minds a little bit. There's just so much pressure on every single little detail at the club at the moment. A win can just lift it off just a little bit. I'm so scared when that win's going to come. I don't know when it's going to be. I fucking hope it's next week because I would love to beat St Kilda. But yeah, it's just a bit of a frustrating time.
I was having this conversation at the pre-game function today about exactly that. Like, okay, whether it's today or whatever, but yeah, a win just for everyone to just breathe a little bit and smile. And I think I said this last week as well. When's the last time we had a win where no one questioned the merit of the win?
Yeah,
man. Won, a lot of it was everyone was talking about, but Lynch missed, kicked 2 goals 7. Games at the back end of last year was, but, okay, maybe the Port game, that was a pretty convincing win. But for the most part, I was like, nah, season's dead. You got to go back to Geelong or last year or 2024 before you get a win where we're like, okay, hey, I like where we're at.
Yeah, it was probably the last time I think I really sat at the football and really enjoyed a win. And I was like, yeah, we might be on here. Was probably actually more so the Essendon game. I think it was just after Geelong, if I'm not mistaken, because it was the King's birthday. Yeah, we sort of won that game pretty comfortably too. And I think at that point we were sort of sitting on top of the ladder.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like I'm enjoying this. This is good. We're actually like showing something here. That 2023 wasn't a fluke at the time and we're looking good. And now you sort of look back on it all and you go, well, what's happened since? But yeah, man, we just need to sit there and just, yeah, it doesn't feel enjoyable to watch games at the moment because you sit there and you can just feel it. You can feel when you're watching the game, you're just like, I've seen this story a million times. I know what's going on here. I know what's going to happen. And there's just nothing you can do about it. It's so shit.
When that breaks, are we going to accept that that's broken? Like when that gets fixed?
I hope so.
Because the game that it gets fixed or the game that they don't crumble, it's almost like they've got to win a close one.
Yeah. They've got to win that close one and they've got to get over that fourth quarter mental demon that's in there. I think once they get past that mental demon, like winning a game, especially winning a close one and winning in a manner where you've lost so many times, if you can win it in that manner, like it just shifts something up here and you start to feel good about yourself and you start to go, all right, we've done it once. Let's go fucking do it again.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunately a bit of a process. It's for me, it's just always ever been in sort of, and we've been through this for 5 years now under Voss. It's just those little attention to details that we just clearly lack and we clearly obviously don't seem to not focus on enough because the good sides just don't make, the simple skill errors and all that we do. We didn't just magically draft or recruit 46 of the worst players in the league.
Yeah.
I just struggle to believe that. Like
Play.
they can play in the AFL for a reason. Everything that's going on behind it, you know, training and all that sort of stuff, the energy at training, you know, the systems and going through, you know, match sort of simulation stuff, going, okay, if this has happened, what are we supposed to do? So on and all that, all that stuff. It's just not 100% there at the moment.
Mm.
And it results on game day, you know. You know, I spoke to you about those skill errors earlier. You train the way you play. You make those skill errors and stuff at training. Well, what do you expect is going to happen on game day?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I'm waiting for it, man. I'm waiting for it. I'm hoping we're going to get a win soon. I fucking hate losing. I want to be I want to be an optimist and go, you know, like tonight wasn't too bad. It was only 14 points in the end and all that sort of stuff. But
We would never.
nah,
win that.
I'm not about that, man. Like I want to win. I want to win. I'm here to win. I've seen enough losing over my time. I want to see some wins now.
Yeah. I love it. Well, mate, thanks for calling in. It's good to chat.
It's good to chat, man. It's been a while. Have fun the rest of your time in Perth, and man, hopefully we get to catch up in Melbourne sometime.
Sounds good, my friend. You take care.
You too, my man.
See ya. Beachy,
Okay.
the man
first of all,
flew
good
to
to see you.
Perth.
Yes, another one who flew from the eastern seaboard to the western front to witness a 14-point loss in what would probably be called the anchorage of the Optus Stadium.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, great to get out of the Melbourne bubble. Obviously, as you said, you know, get away from it and, you know, experience a different city for the next couple of days. And, you know, get off to a good start of the day with the WA supporters, you know, put some money into the supporter base there, and then obviously go to the game, and yeah, that's what happens next.
Does it feel like we're going through the motions a little bit as a supporter base, or maybe even as a team?
It feels like it as a team.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know if we're going through the motions as a supporter base, because if we were going through the motions as a supporter base, then I don't think we would have rocked up as much as we did tonight. Because look, I'm not sure what the record crowd is between us and the Dockers here in Perth, but we had a crowd over 50,000 tonight, nearly 54,000. So clearly we're not going through the motions as much as we think we are, but clearly it seems to be we are as a team. So, you know, we had that conversation earlier, I think probably between halftime and 3/4 time. Yeah, no synergy between Reedy and the midfielders.
Yeah.
The Dockers midfielders were just killing us out of the middle. You know, Dean and Weering weren't talking to each other in the first or second quarter with a contest. And you know, you've got to communicate with your teammates, because otherwise, what are you going to do? You're going to concede goal after goal after goal if you don't do that. And then, you know, once we do eventually get our groove on, we're already too late.
Yeah. No, it's pretty well summarized. It's, yeah. Just want to believe again. I don't believe. And I don't think they fully believe.
Well, clearly we all want to believe. You know, look, I don't want to go on to the past too much here, but you know, look, 2023, they believed, so we believed. 2024 happened, they believed, and then we believed. And then, of course, it came to the end of the season, and you know, we only just scraped into the finals, and then that belief obviously fell away after St Kilda, and then it certainly died after the Brisbane elimination final when we kicked 9 goals, 6-0 against. And then, you know, 2025 happens, and we think, okay, how are we going to come back from this?
You know
and then
what?
we're going to mix back.
I guess 2025. Now that you've sort of laid it out like that, yeah, but I think the core group as a whole, they did stop believing from last year.
And, you've got to ask yourself, right, well, if you're not going to believe, then who's going to believe in what's going
Who's
on?
gonna-
Because one, currently now we sit 1-6 with 2 more interstate trips coming up in the next 2 weeks, right after St Kilda. So we come home to face St Kilda, then we go to Queensland to face Brisbane, then we got the Dogs back home, then we go to Adelaide, who beat Geelong tonight, by the way, convincingly. So
Wait, what?
yeah,
Port Adelaide beat Geelong?
if I read that correct, I think Port beat Geelong.
I actually forgot to check the scores. Port Adelaide beat Geelong? Oh.
If I've read that correctly, I think I saw Port beat Geelong.
Port Adelaide beat Geelong by 5 goals, Beachy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that was against Geelong, who had Jeremy Cameron, who kicked 10 against the depleted Bulldogs.
There you go.
So
I'm flying to Adelaide for the Port Adelaide game as well. That's my final booked interstate trip.
Then I'll see you there, because that's mine as well.
The last time, actually, Adelaide was the first interstate game I ever went to. It was when we played Port Adelaide late in, I'm going to say 2014. I think we lost by 96. So that was nice.
Yeah, well, my first one was, for Carlton at least, was Tasmania, where we lost by about 80 odd and kicked 4-9 for the entire match with a gale blowing off the Derwent across the ground.
Yeah. Damn, Beachy. Well, I'm glad that somebody else was crazy enough to come to Perth. That was very validating for me to see you.
Yeah, and I'll be even crazy to go to Adelaide again after doing Gather Round earlier this year in Adelaide myself. So don't worry, that craziness isn't going anywhere, mate.
You're a madman. But I will see you in Melbourne. When do you go back to Melbourne?
Tomorrow morning at about 7:30 Perth time, and then land, all going well, about 1:05 Victorian time. So not much time here, but then once I get home, it'll be straight back to work Monday morning. So I'm glad I'm not doing the red eye, mate, because otherwise it'd be one hell of a longer flight than tomorrow morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, safe flight, my friend. I'll see you in Melbourne next week.
Thanks, buddy. Speak soon.
See ya. David.
Oh. Hi, how you doing? It was an early game for me, so I decided, I'm not flying out to Perth, but at least I can be up at 6:15.
Is this the first time you've made it to a fan cams?
No, it's the second. The first was 2022 GWS, where I was wrong. That was the first time ever I talked to you, actually.
You called in GWS. We beat them over there?
Yes. And it was whatever the round is. There were 4 games to go after that. And I thought, okay. And it's like, okay, we're back. Because we'd done really well the first half of the season. And then injuries and uncertainty and trying a few things, the most frightening words in the Carlton lexicon. And basically a 500 club until then, still, borderline making the 8. All we need to do is win one of the last 4 after that, but failed.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, mate, we are here after round 7, 2026. What do you think of the game tonight against Fremantle?
Well, I mean, people are going to say, oh, the same thing all over again. Well, yes, because the failure to perform, do the basics in the first part of the fourth quarter, again, 2 games in a row, but 3 games in a row now, we've actually basically reversed the failure of falling apart in the third quarter, basically toe-to-toe for most of the game. We're making ground up again. I mean, we were within 8 or 9 points or something at one point, or 11, no, less than 2 goals. And then the basics. Others people have already kind of pointed out, especially the center not bounce. Everybody keeps saying the center bounce, even the announcers do.
Yeah, we're so used to it.
They're not bouncing it. But Reedy, poor guy. I mean, Luke, you know what Luke Jackson's going to do, and you know what the whole new deal is. All he has to do is jump up. Reedy's feet never left the ground in any of those contests. So I don't know what's going on there. And somebody else, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, was pointing out Tappan to Brayshaw coming up every time. Why don't we get in front of him? You can see it happening. Somebody should do something. And half the time, with that, even if Reedy possibly had a chance at it, we had 3 guys on the other side of the ball, and the ball's over here, and the Fremantle player. I mean, it was almost easy. And of course, they're away, and our sweeper's in the wrong place because Walsh is trying to do something else, or whoever it is. So that's simple stuff. Gave away 2 or 3 goals right there off of just not setting up and not learning the lesson. Something that they should have seen all game happening. It's like, okay, we have a stoppage coach, right? It's supposed to talk to them and do something about it. You know, if Cricks isn't in there bashing and getting the ball, nothing's happening. Everybody's standing around and watching and expecting somebody else to do something. Our defensive setup. I mean, it's a new mix, but you know, somebody's got to communicate. Weering's peeling off, leaving people open, no communication. Then he comes back and yells at Lewis Young for not covering when he's disappearing. That's happened 2 games in a row now, but also 3 different times, or maybe even 4 easy goals for Fremantle. They're bringing it across. Our guys, you know, trying to do this half zone, not zone again, or whatever, on from the middle to the left of the defensive 50, either Treacy or Amos are wide open in the forward pocket, plus either Fredericks or Sharp. 2 guys all by themselves, multiple times. So there's something with setup there when we're supposed to, you know, be coming back. And of course, failure to get the ball out of the back again half the time. Although Fremantle was doing dumb kicks plenty of time also. So, you know, it's everybody does it when they got nothing else to do.
Yeah,
So it's not, it's not really like a strategy.
I mean, there were moments there were, you know, good patches throughout the game start where we had hemmed them in, Fremantle, exactly where we wanted them. Late in the game, I think it was in the third or definitely in the second half, the kick, sorry, it was in the fourth, Hayden Young, the kick across his body, that was like a low bullet that found Jeremy Sharp. That was just, I mean, I actually thought we defended that play relatively well.
Yeah, if somebody's going to make a play, they make a play. You tip your hat to them, and then we make plays too, like Kemp taking miracle marks from behind somebody, and that's the thing with Kemp. See, people talk about no skills and whatever. Sure, there are some problems with that, and Jeff White has pointed this out to you. If we're not presenting targets, you can be the best kick in the world, and if there's nobody to kick to, nothing's going to happen. And multiple times we're standing around just out of the back 50, but also trying to get the ball forward and inside. Kemp started to present. McGovern getting beat to death. And did he get 1 free kick? I think.
He got
and
one.
And that was actually a ticky-tacky thing that shouldn't have been called. Somebody like touches him on the hip, but that's a holding call. So there's a lot of that where we're not presenting targets, and then when we do present targets, we hit them. It's not that complicated.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, I actually haven't seen the footage. I forgot to look at it. Did Cowan hit Murphy Reed to the point where he'll get suspended? Did that show up on the screen on the TV?
I didn't. I don't think it looked that bad. I mean, I haven't looked at it again, but I didn't really think.
Yeah, I forgot to ask.
Was there anything serious?
I knew he went
down. The head knock. The head knock. Yeah.
I didn't see it. Apparently, it was a gut punch. People were talking about it. Around
okay. No. I have to look at it again because that was from a distance. I didn't really see it.
Okay.
No, I remember him being down, but I didn't see exactly what happened.
Yeah, no, there was a collision with he and Cowan. I just don't know if it was an actual gut punch or if it was just incidental.
Well, it's probably another failed tackle that went awry.
Yeah,
because Cowan will do that. But
yeah,
I mean, they'll see with the wind up in the fist, so that'll be pretty
yeah.
cut and dry, I would think.
So 1 and 6, how have you assessed the total? All of it, high level.
Well, I mean, it's not surprising just because everything's a mess, but there are improvements. I mean, Dione talked about that last week, and everybody's like, "Oh no, things are getting a little better, little things each time. It's not enough." And you're all wondering, where we're going to turn the corner or turn the page. 3 or 4 things have to get fixed over time, several games in a row in order for that to happen. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Everybody's heads kind of in the wrong place. I mean, the players are out there trying. It's not like they don't believe or whatever. They believe in what they're doing, but there's a couple of instructional things and setup where we lose shape, and somebody's not making the correction from up top. I don't know what's going on there. Like, how does this continue for an entire quarter and there's no runaround or we're not holding up the milkshake sign or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know. It's simple stuff, but it's 3 or 4 different areas, and then something will happen. You don't need to have a complete all-star list to perform the basics properly. So that's whether that happens or not, I don't know. But like you said, when are people going to admit that we're in a rebuild? We're in a rebuild.
We are in a rebuild.
Last year I was saying, it's a mini rebuild. They're figuring out what they're going to do going forward. Having new guys, we had constant changes in lineups, constantly trying different looks, and figuring out, okay, we're going to get rid of some guys. Then big changes. How many new guys? 10 or 11 new guys. Either people coming back or finally kids getting games for the 4 recruits. So we're in phase 1 of a rebuild, or what did our president Priestley say? A reset to a rebuild. It's a rebuild. We're in the first phase of that already. And I don't know if any of the coaches are going to say. I mean, obviously Voss is not. They're not going to keep him going. But some of the assistants. I mean, only Josh Frazier and Clark are possible to stay on. I mean, the rest are gone.
I think if you go get a new, I think if they were to get a new coach who's already been in the system, he's probably going to want to bring his people with him. And I guess it's a similar story with an untried coach. They would want to pair him and match him with those that complement his skill set or whatever.
Well, sort of. That's what they were doing with Voss going into this year, which was interesting, and that raised a lot of eyebrows. And there's still people who think, oh, they're actually going to keep Voss on for it's impossible. But getting rid of him now isn't going to make a difference. Than have a caretaker coach, it won't make any difference. And if anything, it would be less disruptive to the younger guys to bring in a caretaker coach. And we're going to put in a new system for 2 months. I mean, who's that going to help?
Yeah.
Now maybe that's what they're going to do, and everybody disagrees with me. I don't know, but from my experience of watching all these sports, that kind of stuff it doesn't do anybody any favors except for the sugar hit and takes the pressure off of management. If that's all they care about, then whatever.
Well, then you can bet your bottom dollar we'll be doing that.
Yeah.
Because management is struggling, I'll tell you, they struggle under the heat.
Well, I mean, I don't want to bring up the Elijah thing, but supposedly there's more stuff has come out about how they knew this was a thing. They had a protocol in place already to deal with it because they dealt with it in the past. If that's the case, how come Graham Wright's out there reading off of a card, some boilerplate that doesn't even address that they had any idea what was going on? So
it's the Graham Wright one for me was just a humiliation ritual that he just had to cop on behalf of incompetence below him. Interesting that the president hasn't really fired anything out this week other than a written email.
He knows nobody wants to hear him. He knows that. He's not stupid. You talk to him.
Yeah.
But if supposedly they knew about this already and had done this before against the Sydney and last year against the Sydney game, and everybody had talked to him and they had a plan already, and like, yeah, normally we'll sit him down, calm him down, then he goes back out there and that's his happy place and it's fine. So how come acted like it had never happened before? It's bizarre.
Yeah. Everything is
So we'll
bizarre.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. So I mean, the players are out there trying. They have things. We have enough bodies and some basic talent to be reasonably competitive. And if we fix a couple of things, you could be a 500 team or a little more. But somebody's not fixing it. I don't know what's going on. I mean, and again, more different rotations, and we don't have the stability again on any line. That doesn't help, especially with communication.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to sit through it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that's what a
Can't
rebuild
wait.
is.
That's a rebuild, I guess. Yeah.
20 guys out of contract in October, if you include the Irish boys.
Yeah. Well, right
So-
now I think the tally is at 17. I think Jagger, Sam Walsh, and Cooper Lord are the only ones that have been given a contract. So 17 out of contract right now, including the Irish lads. You there?
I looked the other day and there was more that I opened. Either group.
Sorry?
So there's going to be more serious changes. Either veterans moved on, or
Yeah.
are you losing me or am I losing you? I can't tell.
I think it's my end. But I just wanted to bring up because McGovern put a quote out earlier in the week, which didn't get picked up too much, but he basically said whether he's playing here or elsewhere, he wants to continue on next year. He said, obviously, I'd prefer to play here, and I still believe that this group can do something. But yeah, haven't heard such comments from a Carlton player in a long time. Just honest. I mean, it was good to be honest. Oh, I think I've lost you.
Well, I mean, there are some people who. No, yeah, I was losing you. I don't know, but either way, there'll be changes. More stuff's going to happen, but we should be fixing some stuff now because that's long-term, simple stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's all.
mate,
and we just have to wait for it and tough it out.
Yeah, it's true. Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. I want to know what Jeff White has to say about some of that stuff too.
I will. I'll ask him.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
See you, mate. That was David, also known as Equality, in the chat. All right, a couple more, and then we'll wrap it up. Kel, CFC ahead.
Hello there, sir.
You are calling in from Tassie. Is that right?
Yes, I am. Yeah. I was at the good Carlton game, Dave, because we beat Tasmania quite convincingly.
Mate, give us the VFL update. We don't need to hear about the
yeah.
AFL boys. We've done that. You were at the VFL tonight.
Yeah. The two players that impressed me most were Billy Wilson and Jack Ison.
Okay.
And George Hewitt too, as well. He had 39 touches. He was good in the midfield. Fogarty had a couple of goals that were good in the last, and Akers was presenting well up forward and in the midfield. So maybe Akers and Hewitt could come in, possibly Wilson. But yeah, it was a good game. Big crowd at Belgrave Overtide, Ninja Stadium.
Yeah. Very good. What did you? So you didn't watch the entirety of the AFL match?
No, I sort of. Well, I had the internet radio for the first half of the AFL game while watching the VFL, and then KO'd it on the way home and when I got home.
Nice.
Yes, I'll have to go back and watch the replay to watch the first half again, so see how that went. But yeah, I was sort of expecting us to lose. I think I said the other day 10 points, so I wasn't far off.
That's true. You were, yeah, I thought you were optimistic, but you were right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just thought, I'm a bit optimistic because we usually play well over there against Freo, so, but today not quite well enough.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, that's right. Well, yeah, thanks for calling in and sharing with us the VFL, and we'll chat to you next week, my friend.
No worries, we'll do, and go Baggers.
Go Baggers. All right, lucky last, Paolo.
I thought I'd just sneak in before we say goodnight.
Oh, hey, mate. It's late. It's late for you.
I know it's it's just about to hear 1:30 here, and we've got an hour until kick off ahead of a big game in the Premier League playing Newcastle. So for that, it's going to be a great treat. Opposite ends of the table for first class. Carlton.
I don't know if my internet is no good, but you're cutting out, and I don't know if it's me or if it's you. You there?
I reckon.
You there?
I am here.
Ah.
Hold on a minute.
I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back. We'll see. And after Paul, I think we just wrap it up. Like, there's not much more to it. I think we wrap it up. Well, Port Adelaide beat Geelong. Shit. I kind of looked at that game in a few weeks as one that we could win over in Adelaide. And I've already booked flights and accommodation for that too. Paolo.
Is that better?
Much better. What have you done?
I disconnected from the Wi-Fi. I'm out the front of home. That's why.
Nice.
Disconnected from the Wi-Fi. So, how are you? How was WA, mate? All good?
WA is amazing. It's just the football was what it was.
Look, I would say, based off what I've seen this year, I would say it was our best performance of the year.
Right.
That's what I would say, right? But when it's your best performance of the year and you're still not winning, it's a concern. And I think like the personnel problems we had today cost us a little bit. I think because there were moments where we were still kicking ahead of the ball. And I think we still thought Harry was up there. Albeit I thought Brody Kemp was really good tonight. I thought he was really, really good. I really liked his game.
I was sitting behind the goals as I said earlier, and his work rate to run Brennan Cox into the ground, I was going to say inspirational. Like he kind of tired himself out by the fourth quarter. He didn't have much left, Brody, as well, but he just continued to make dummy lead after dummy lead. He kept sprinting. He just kept moving. He was very rarely stationary.
And that's why he got his opportunities.
Yeah.
That's why it opened up for him, because he was still able to create those moments for himself. And ultimately that's what it comes down to. But I mean we ended up losing by that those moments in the fourth quarter were us losing to our kryptonite, a fast, aggressive, dynamic midfielder who effectively blew us out of the water in 7 minutes of football. It was very similar in the Melbourne game, wasn't it, when Cozzy Pickett went berserk, and Shea Bolton went berserk as well. And unfortunately, we just don't have, after 5 years, the the profile and midfield dynamic to be able to not just match players like that, but negate and then bring it back our way as well. I know Cripps and Walsh will cop a bit of a knock, but I thought they were all right tonight. I know they skewed the ball a little bit, but that's them, Terry. Those are the little caveats on the game that we've just learnt to slightly accept over the last handful of seasons. So yeah, I mean, again, we're all complaining about the scenario we're in, but I mean, as much as we think these players are good to a certain point, and maybe the coach himself is not getting the most out of them, ultimately, I was having a chat to a close mate of mine who's a mad Sydney supporter, and he said, mate, you Blues fans, you're all the same. He goes, you've got great players and great coaches. He goes, but you've lost for 20 years. He goes, you won one game for the year. He goes, you've got all these great players and great coaches. He goes, you've won one game.
It's
I
true.
said, no, I go, when it comes down to that, and you get down to the crux, then it's a very, very fair statement, I think. But look, again, like for me, when I look at the way we've performed this year, that's the best we've performed, and I think the way we play at the moment and the game model we use without the layers that have been built properly for the last 5 years, that's the most you're going to get. It's good enough to go with teams in that maybe 6 to 8 range, which is where I personally think Freo are, despite their really good start. It's not good enough to match teams playing for premierships, and it's inconsistently okay against teams in and around us, and we've seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the numbers say about our scores from our back half, but I did just the eye test. I remember 2 or 3 goals that came directly from either a kick in or from an intercept. So I definitely saw some improvement in that aspect. I refer to this as a lack of belief, but that last 5 minutes of the third quarter, there were ominous signs, which led into the start of the fourth quarter. Do you think we lack belief? Do you think the players lack belief, like true belief that they're going to win the game?
Oh, I don't think it's for, again, but I kind of like, it makes me sick talking about it. It's not for lack of effort.
Yeah, no, for sure. But they are.
Yeah, no,
giving
I
it
know
their
what you
all.
mean. We were talking about it on Monday. We're kind of waiting for the white flag game, and
Yes.
given the way things have gone so far this season, not that you can ever excuse it, but you could understand that may be a reality heading out to Perth. You've only had one win in the first 6 weeks of the season. You can understand why that would be the case, but again, it's not for lack of trying or lack of effort. But 5 years in, we're quite literally back to square one. That is square one, is it not?
Yes.
Is that not literally square one?
We are back to square one.
Like that's the, young fella comes in, like it's effort, like that's under 12s. Isn't that just under 14? So, and I know even too, like I've made mention like maybe the last month and a half, 2 months, but it's something that's plagued me from the first preseason game he played last year, and there's just a little query I've got on, and people can look at it the way they want, however you want to analyse the game to a certain point. I've tried to take emotion out of it when I just look at football and analyse football, whether that's Carlton or Collingwood or whatever club it may be. But I do have slight concerns about Jagger Smith, and just when you're giving away so much draft capital for a player. My concern is that he's a handball first player under pressure and instinct, which is, to me, that is a slight query, right? I think he's going to be a very good player for us. But when I've looked at the top 5, top 6 players from sort of the 2021, 2022 draft onwards, a lot of them don't have that particular trait as their first instinct, which for me, I feel is just a slight concern with the type of profile of player we've picked up at the moment. Now, I think with a mix of, and it's 2-3 years down the track, but that's the reality we're looking at the moment, with Cody Walker and Cooper Lord slowly but surely, they're going to take over that midfield. I think a mix of that 3, they would all complement each other. But for me, just looking at him in pure isolation, like I said, I think he's going to be a very good footballer for us. But my query on him is just under pressure, and when he's in the clinches, there's a trait there that is handball first, which when you're giving up so much draft capital, that's not the type of profile you want when you're giving up so much or so many resources for a young player. And everybody has their knocks to a certain point, you know. But when you're not as physically big as a player like, say, a Sam Lawler or someone like that, are you technically gifted? Like, is your technicality on the ball and the way in which you dispose of the ball going to offset maybe that explosive athlete that you may come up against, right? So when you get the ball, you know you're going to be cut to ribbons. I know as soon as he gets the ball, like as soon as Sheasel gets that ball, I know, oh mate, he's just going to find someone. We know he's going to have an impact. And you know, people also lambasted me for saying Cerra's our sixth best midfielder, but I tell you what, after the first 6 weeks he's had, by golly, oof,
We're talking about, I don't know
5-year
how much you've
deals.
seen. We're talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
I look at his position today and I'm like, with him where he is, you either have to be an elite kick or you've got to be really quick and dynamic and explosive, and he's neither. Like I look, it's like you're either Hayden Young or you're Shea Bolton.
Great call. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 And see, we don't have those type of players in the middle.
No,
we don't have any of them. And I think people think Smith is that player, or people have been led to believe that he's that player. But if you look at his,
isn't he the dancer around to find space to then kick, or is he link in chain around back of stoppage? Like,
is that what you want with pick 3? That my issue is what we have moved and given up for that profile. Right. So when he gets so for me, the moment he started kicking the ball is when things started happening. When he burst through center stoppage there, he kicked the ball and Walsh kicked that banana, and I'm like, yes, good, Jagger. That's what you need to do, more of that, right? My issue is, can you train the instinct, the handball first instinct, out of a young man who has developed that over let's say over a decade of football? You know, and see, like Damien here says, like, give him some time. It's not an argument about time. It's not an argument about ACL. It's not an argument about injury. This is what he had been doing before that, before any of that. This is instinct I'm talking about. Instinct he's built up over, you know, to the point that's led him to this spot in his career. Now, can you train that out of a player? I would like to see him personally just allow him to go and get some free football across halfback, like we've seen a lot of these really good midfielders do. Go find some space. Go to areas of the ground that you know you're going to be able to find that time and space to get ball in hand and drop it on your foot and pick targets out by foot. I think that's what a lot of the good teams do. We've seen the Swans do it with Gordon. They did it with Mills. Collingwood did it with Nick Dacos. I actually like that they're easing him into centre bounce attendances. I think that is a really good idea, because we often fall into the trap of just get him in there, get him in there, get him in there, get him in there. Whereas teams like Geelong and Sydney, they don't do that. Look what they've done with Wiltshire. I know they lost tonight, but Wiltshire's just developed and bloomed out of nowhere. Now, I think we often get sucked into the trap of, we've picked him up as a midfielder, you've just got to play him in there straight away, which can damage the kid, right? It can damage a kid. Again, it's not a knock. That's not the knock on him at all. Like I said, I think he's going to be a very, very good footballer. It's not me targeting him. It's got absolutely nothing to do with that, because people,
this isn't you.
People get emotional, but this is the problem. People go on Twitter and they think, you're pathetic, Paul. You're targeting a young player. It's got nothing to do with that. I go, this is it's quite literally.
You there? I think we just lost him for a sec. I think it'll just work, right? It'll just come back. Or maybe I'm gone. I don't know, man. Am I gone or is Paul gone? Oh my goodness. Guys, am I gone? He's okay. Paul's gone. Okay. I was so paranoid. Okay, we lost him. All right, let's go next. Kylie,
Hi.
how you going?
First of all, I'd like to say, yeah, you need to get a serious hair dryer.
A serious hairdryer? Yeah. Well, I mean, I've just come from the game and my hair's all over the fucking place, Kylie. Cut me some fucking slack, eh? Just fucking flew to Perth for 3 nights to watch
Not
Carlton.
being your friend. I had to go there because it's gone like seriously cyclone. It's cyclone, like like wow, like crazy.
I have been put through the ringer these last few nights, Kylie. It's been a week.
It's more crazy than mine, and mine's been over bleached, so I thought I had an excuse. But so I watched tonight's game, and I really liked watching Brody Kemp.
Yeah.
Because remember last week I said to you I was concerned about was he not playing like jumping because of his Achilles? It was his Achilles, wasn't it? He did his Achilles, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
So I was concerned about that. But then I watched him tonight. I'm like, no, he's playing smart. Like he obviously has learnt some stuff from Charlie Curnow about coming from behind and then coming in. Like, when he's at the goalpost and he ran in and got them up. So I liked the way he played tonight. He actually showed some brains, which I liked. Especially, you got to remember, we didn't have Harry. So we didn't have a tall forward line. As far as Frankie Evans goes, I love him. I freaking love him. But God help him, don't let him look at those freaking goalposts. Make him look backwards, because once moment he looks backwards, he kicks a goal. Or sideways. Like, I don't know what's going on with his eyes. Put some googles on him again, but I don't know. But just don't make him do that, that weird kicking thing that he does. Doesn't work for him. Like, he's got to change his kicking style for a set shot. Doesn't work. It overplays his brain. But that goal tonight was awesome. When he didn't think about it, it worked well.
Just went for it.
Sam Walsh, awesome. Freaking awesome. This is a Sam Walsh we've been waiting for a very, very, very long time. And I mean, I've been waiting for it for a long time because I'm getting old and I thought I was going to die before I saw Sam Walsh play good footy. But he is bulked up. Like, he has put on like a good 10 kilos. Am I not wrong?
He's definitely building into the year, and then comparing him to when he first got drafted, he was the skinny kid, and now he's thick and strong, and
runner.
Yeah, I think
he's bulky. Like, he's got good upper body, and he's got good I don't know what this stuff around your body waist is because I don't have any of it, but whatever your muscles are, the six packs or whatever, I don't know what they are, but he's just built well, and he's got strength again. So when he's not getting taken for holding the ball all the time like he was last year and the year before, like, when he was getting taken for holding the ball all the time because I was dragging him down, whereas now he's holding himself up and he's able to cop that tackle and he can get it off. Cooper Lord 2.0, I made a comment calling him CRISPR-Cas9, so I don't know about if you know. I'm doing a double science degree, so I'm a science nature dude. So that's a genetic editing tool, which basically makes something the same or deletes it or whatever. But Cooper Lord is Patrick Cripps 2.0. Cooper Lord is CRISPR-Cas9. He is Patrick Cripps all over, and you can see it. He's been trained by, and he's been mentored by him, like, that.
Yeah.
We all know that. He has been totally mentored by him, and he is going to be our next Brownlow medalist. I can guarantee it. Like, he's just.
Love it. Love that.
I'm putting my CCF on it, like, hello. Put a snake in my arm, let it bite me. like, Will Ferrell in that movie and whatever that stupid religious comedian show was. I know it wasn't Will Ferrell. It was actually the other crazy dude. But anyway, but I can see it. Cooper Lord is going to be the next Brownlow medalist for Carlton. He is a very, very smart player. He has been trained by a very, very, very good captain, and Patrick Cripps picked him for a reason, and he's been underrated.
Yeah. No, I think I actually think he's not underrated. I think he's very well rated, and that's why he got a contract extension early this year already, before the season already played out. I think they love him internally, and I think fans love him too. I think he's in that sweet spot. I think as long as he's available, he'll play.
Yeah, he could barely get a game.
Sorry?
He was struggling to get. So last year, remember, he was struggling to get into the team. So he was always on the emergency list.
Yeah, I mean, they've realized now that they've got to move forward. So that's probably why Hewitt's not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Cooper Lord, Brent, I am going to hold myself at Cooper Lord, Brownlow medalist. The next one we have.
I promise you, the day Cooper Lord wins the Brownlow, I will never forget this conversation, and you will be given all the credit. Trust me.
If he gets nominated, you are taking me to that Brownlow freaking award, and you are going to get a goddamn better hairdo than that, because that is a terrible hairdo, Terry. Terrible.
My hair has been through the sweat of the day. I've been pulling my hair out all day. It's fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. So forgive me for my hair not being perfect.
2 in the morning. And you think that's bad? I had my horse bash my teeth out because I do mounted archery, and I thought it'd be funny to actually let him hit me in the face by accident, of course. So you think your hairdo's bad? Try having no teeth. So hello, but your hairdo is worse than my teeth. So yeah, I'm gonna cop that. And all my friends go, "Are you sure you're not a Collingwood supporter?" I'm like, no. Like I did have teeth before my horse hit me, so I get those Collingwood jokes all the time. But I mean, Cooper Lord, awesome. Matthew Carroll, I would take him to my grave because he has the heart and soul of a freaking demon. Like, he loves Carlton so much, he will go to the death for Carlton, and I love him. Like, he deserves every part to be in that team, and I love him. But I found it interesting that we didn't have Ollie Hollands tonight, and I was watching the synergy between the players. So normally Ollie Hollands is like he was playing wing and then half back, and I don't know, he was playing a few mixed roles down that area. Am I correct?
Well, yeah, and I think Zach Williams played a bit more behind the ball, a bit more responsibility. I mean, Cottrell was back in, which was nice to see. Not many people have spoken about that yet. He was.
Yeah, but he didn't play a lot of time though.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know what the plan was, but he's only really had 3 weeks, I think it is, back in the VFL from the long layoff. So I think they were always going to manage his minutes tonight, but. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have him back in the team. He'll build into it now.
I think we missed him though. I think we should have had more. We should have had him. We should have had more time with Matt Cottrell on the ground to let him get more used to the players he was playing with, so that next week he could get a bit more of a roll on. You know what I mean? Like, did you play footy?
A little bit.
In other words, no, really. Okay. Whatever sport you play.
Premiership player for the 2015 Thomastown Bears. Thank you very much, Kylie. I'll have you know, Dal. That was called being humble.
Well, I'm a basketballer and a
So
horse
was
rider.
I. 20 years of basketball.
All I'm saying is, I've gone from team sports to individual sports, but I just think Matthew Cottrell, because he's been away from the game for a long time, I would have liked to have seen him play more time on the ground, despite because we're going to lose
But
regardless.
you need to
right?
manage his time because he's come back from injury. You can't overplay
Get
him.
that. But there also has to be a point in time where you put them on the ground so they can get used to the synergy of the way the game is being rolled. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't
there's
know.
no
I don't
point
know what you're
putting them on-
saying. I'm sorry.
So we played him for very limited time to look after his physical health, but he didn't make that connection with a lot of the players and how they played and how they've been playing for the last 5 games. So how is he meant to roll into the next game and understand where everyone's moving if he's only played 5 or 8 minutes or 12 minutes or
How
whatever
many minutes
he
did he
played?
play? What did he play?
I don't know. I just kept seeing him on the bench all the time. And
Well,
I'm
then how do
thinking,
you know
what's
he
going
was?
on?
Well, then how do you know he didn't play enough?
I'm not saying he didn't play enough. I'm asking, did he play enough to be ready for next week to play a full game so that he understands the synergy of how all the other players play together? Because remember, Ollie Hollands is going to come back next week.
Is he?
Well, I'm assuming so. Like, why did he not play tonight?
Because he didn't play because they've managed him because of obviously what's happened with his brother. So I think it was just best for him
Yeah,
not
we're
to
not
play.
going to talk about that because that's a whole nother conversation, and that's not something that we want to talk about anymore on social media because that's like, we can talk about
So
it if you want. Do you want to go there?
I'll talk about anything. Cottrell played 73% game time apparently. So
Really?
he played.
Because I kept seeing him on the bench.
Well, maybe yeah. When they showed the bench, he was just on it. But yeah, Rocco Grasso in the chat here.
I can't look at it. Okay, so I'm going to go with you, Terry.
Anyway.
Then we're going to go to the Ollie Hollands thing quickly.
Okay.
I'm not going to go to the Elijah Hollands thing because that is definitely off conversation. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
Have any of your brothers and sisters ever gone through mental health issues?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get it.
Yeah.
Yep. So why won't the media leave them alone?
Well, I think they have kind of left it alone.
Really, today it was covered again. I don't look at Facebook a lot, but I just go on.
Wait, the media or Facebook? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
No, I just went on whatever the Google thingy, whatever. I just typed in Elijah, just out of curiosity, and it just goes. Zzz, and I'm like, oh my god, and I look at the dates, and I'm like, they're all from some of them are from today. And Ollie Hollands, his dad, he's this, he's that, and then Carlton, the football club, and the questions about where the football club come from and blah blah. And I'm not being political or anything. I'm just curious.
I just think, to be honest,
gonna stop?
well, right now, when we just don't talk about it, I think we just.
Good. Thank you.
I think that's what we do. Kylie, it's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend anyone. I'm sorry.
You didn't offend anyone. I love it. I love copping strays at 2 a.m. It's great. Thank you very much.
You need to do some Fidel Zoom, mate.
I need to what? Sorry.
Have you not watched that movie with Will Ferrell and Fidel Zoom where he's like, oh my god, you got to stop watching so much footy and get some actual entertainment TV going, mate.
I think I get plenty of entertainment in my life.
Oh, I love your show, by the way, Terry. I think it's wonderful. But I don't know what to do with your badge. What your pin? What am I going to do with it?
Do you mean the key ring?
No, I don't know what a key ring is. A key ring you put your keys with. But the other thing, where am I going to pin it?
You put
Once
on
it
your
goes in
stuff.
the wash, you got to do you got to take it off. It's a waste. It's a waste of money. Invest something better. Trivia night.
Feedback.
That's what you
take it
got to
on board.
do. Trivia
Thank
night.
you.
Trivia night in Melbourne.
I'll work on it. You have a good night, Kylie.
You too, Terry.
See ya. Amazing. We're going around the world again. Tony.
Terry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
How you doing, Terry? I can't hear
I
you,
don't
mate.
know. No, I'm here. Can you hear
I
me?
can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
If you can hear me, Terry, I'm currently in London. It's beautiful. It's 20 odd degrees and the sun's out. And all I can say to save you and to get you to bed after you're getting slagged off left, right, and centre, mate, the merchandise everywhere, you're getting absolutely slammed.
I love
All
it,
we
mate.
can say,
In the furnace.
all we can say is there's some positives there, but as Paolo, who unfortunately got cut off, said, we're back at one. And there were some positives there with Kemp 4 goals. We had Reedy tried hard. We had some moments, but I think I counted only one time where we moved the ball. Might have been the first quarter, maybe second quarter, where we actually methodically controlled to move the ball around, which led to a Kemp goal. And I don't think I saw it again. So some bits and pieces to work on, but for some reason I can't hear. But I'm just rambling on. So you just sign me when you want me to piss off. All right, I'll keep going. So we had some moments there. Cottrell 75% game time, but Moya, I know he kicked a couple of goals at the end there, but one for me, the lackadaisical nature that he has. Granted, it's not exactly the best playing in a Carlton forward line. The lackadaisical nature that he has, while Frankie Evans is chasing, Kemp is absolutely running himself into the ground and put that chinless Brennan Cox into the ground. So this is where we're starting to see again moments. We're starting to see some positivity, but again, like we chatted last week at training. It just feels like we are back to square one. We are back to 2015 vibes. We are back to pulling out little green shoots, little moments here and there, which, as Paolo said, after 5 years, that's unfortunate that we have to bow down and stoop down to that again. So I wish I could hear you so I could actually get something from you, but I can't hear you. You're Sorry. I can't hear nothing. I got you on full volume. I can't hear shit.
Can you hear me?
Nothing, Terry. I got nothing. Anyway, you got to go to bed.
All right.
Thank you very much. Again, a valiant effort. Wonderful performance, considering we lost, probably, as Paolo said, one of the best performances of our year. But unfortunately, that's not what we're looking for 5 years down the track. We are, 1-6, 1-7. But it is good to get away. I'm glad you enjoyed Perth. For anyone who's actually still watching, good night. God bless. And look forward to absolutely smashing St Kilda next week. See you later, Terry. Have a good one, Carlton fans. Good night.
It's so good. Only Carlton. I don't know what happened, but
What the fuck? What's going on?
1 hour ago, Equality came on. David came on. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring in we're going to do the three of us.
Has this ever happened in fan cams?
Yeah, we've done this before. I'm just trying to. I want to try and get my. Hang on. I want to get the three of us on screen like squares. There we go. Okay, so 1 hour ago, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a pretty stock standard fan cams. Like, it'll be done." I don't know what's happened in the last hour, but yeah, that was great.
This is, I reckon, the last 30 minutes I've been watching, that is fan cams. Like the epitome of fan cams. Those last two conversations, bro, that's what we watch it for.
Yeah.
That's what we watch it for. I kind of forgot everything I came here to say.
Aiden,
what did I come here to say?
How did you see the performance, mate?
I can't lie, I was disinterested in the whole thing, but I did watch it. Yeah.
Well, then that's a complete contradiction. How can you be disinterested in something but watch it?
No, because I didn't care, but I still watched it.
But you're up at 2 a.m. talking about it.
Yeah, I know, but I just come on to see how you saw the game, and all things like that. But I mean, even though I didn't show any emotion, and as I said, I watched it, we played better. That's probably our best performance throughout the whole year. But then again, we're 1-6, and apparently this is the worst position that we've been since 2019. So again, people can be happy about the performance, but I mean, what's it meant to achieve? We're here to play for 4 points. But then again,
we are, but we also know we're rebuilding.
Yeah, it's true. And I was going to, onto that point, it would give us a sort of sense of hope on what we can build on for next week, even though I do think that we will lose that. But then again, like, Kemp played his best game since last year against Bulldogs. McGovern, who got delisted, is our best forward, that's great. That's a bit, if I was Harry Mackay, I feel a bit embarrassed knowing that, considering a delisted player is our best forward.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and how he's got, more goals. Because you'd think that, coming into the year that Harry Mackay, he'd be that guy. He'd obviously kick all the goals and all that. I don't think anyone expected Mitch McGovern to be our best forward at all.
I did.
Not 7 rounds in. Yeah.
Yeah. But again,
Aiden, I don't think I've seen a more interested man about this than you.
I'm just telling
I
you.
I would say you are more interested than most people.
I'm just telling you how I saw the game. But then again, you can even ask the Tush. Like I was on my phone for half the time, wasn't I?
We watched the game together, and the most like excitement we had throughout the game was when Mason Cox kicked that goal and grabbed the jumper. I thought that was really fucking stupid from him. But other than that, like, I'm actually, Terry, I'm so like, I know Aiden said he's not interested, but I'm actually like so emotionally exhausted from this club. Like, I don't care anymore.
I'm
like, I know
sorry.
I'm here at 2 o'clock.
Oh, that part.
I know I'm here talking about it, but
the cap about like I'm not interested, I'm disenchanted,
I'm
this and that,
interested.
but I'm fucking here at 2 a.m. Like, let's just cut the shit. Everyone's interested.
I still care.
That's why we're here.
But I'm not angry anymore, and I'm not even like we just lost, and I don't really care that we lost. Like, there's no emotion. Like, yeah, okay, I care about the club, and I'll show up. But like all this shit of all the positives that people can name, like I watched Adam Cerra go at 90% efficiency, but that was the worst 90% efficiency game I've ever seen in my life. Brody Kemp kicked 4 goals. That is the worst 4-goal game. Yeah, that is the worst 4-goal game I've seen in my life. I'm done. But it is, Terry. Fucking, bro, watch the game. I'm not copying this anymore. I'm fucking done, bro. All right, listen to me. Listen. He went at 90% efficiency. You watch him throughout the game. Watch every single one of his disposals.
Wait, can we talk about Kemp? Did you just say it was the worst 4-goal performance you've seen?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
What?
Bro, you can't tell me. This is what it gets me about Kemp, right? He's not the key forward, which I understand, right? I understand. But like when he kicks goals like this, maybe I'm just really angry. Maybe I lied. Maybe I actually am angry about the
goals. Like, I'm not saying he's a star. He had a good game.
He had an okay game. But I don't want to see people praising him.
4 goals.
Don't care. It was the worst 4-goal game I've seen in my life.
What does that mean?
In terms, okay, so you get every single AFL player that's ever kicked 4 goals in a game. That is the worst 4-goal game.
What are you talking about? What are you saying?
I just said it. So you get every single AFL player that's kicked 4 goals in a game before. That is the least impact 4 goals has had on a game.
What about Jack Gunston today?
Wait. Sorry. What are you talking about? He was fucking everywhere, working Brennan Cox into the ground today. I was there. I sat right behind the goals. I watched his work rate today. He was awesome.
Maybe it was because of the TV.
I'll tell you what it is, because before I left Melbourne, I had this cloud of anger as well because of the week that it's been. Perth reset me, and I have a feeling you're just still angry about other things, and it might be spilling into. Kemp's not a star. but tonight's not the night to be going at Kemp. I'm sorry. I'll push back on that.
Okay, that's fair. I'm still gonna
I
stand
don't
on
know
my
who
opinion.
you've been talking to. I don't know what you've been talking. Like, it's funny the way you guys come here and this attitude about whatever you like, whatever. Like, you're clearly on one. How you could say a 4-goal performance from Brody Kemp away from home against Fremantle tonight is anything other than just like a solid or good game? I don't know what you're watching.
I think I am just really upset. I don't like Brody Kemp.
Why?
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think he's that good, and I think he gets a lot more praise than he deserves. No,
By
am
who?
am I fucking stupid?
He
Fucking
gets
people that come.
rated every week.
Does he?
Yes.
We're just on different sides of the internet, I guess. I don't know. I'm on the positive side. Everyone loves him.
I think Brody cops it most weeks. I think he was solid last week. He kind of did his job, like stock standard.
He was actually good last week. Last week was a good game from him. This week,
He was
I don't know.
better
Maybe
tonight. Are you kidding? What are you watching?
Bro, I'm telling you, maybe the TV was different. Maybe the TV showed it different.
You are in Melbourne and you are mad about what's happened throughout the week and last week. I'm telling you, you're clouded. I promise. I promise you.
Maybe I
promise
am.
you.
Maybe I am.
I
I don't
promise
know.
you. He was like up for it tonight. I watched it. I was so close to him tonight. I never sit there. I never sit behind the goals.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what is going
I
on
don't
right
know.
now.
I'll rewatch the game, but I don't know. I think like Mitch McGovern had a better game. I thought he was pretty good.
I just thought they both did their job. Like, I'm not going over the top with praise. I just think they both, considering Harry was out and considering the situation, I just thought they both did their job tonight. I'm stunned to be hearing that it was the worst 4-goal performance that you've seen.
I didn't think Weering was great. I didn't like him.
Yeah, let's start there. Not Kemp.
Weering was also shit. Yeah. Yeah. No,
I thought because there's been that narrative around Jacob where if he doesn't get front on position on his opponent, and if his opponent leads into space, that's where he gets found out. And I feel like tonight with Josh Tracy, he did that a couple times, and he kind of ran Weering to the ground a little bit. I didn't really like Weitering's game at all. He's been off all year, to be fair.
Tonight,
I don't know what's going on there.
I was saying it earlier on the cams. I was sitting behind the Fremantle goal, so our defense first quarter, and it was just his reaction time. The first two Tracy marks on the lead, just his reaction time just wasn't what it usually was. He just wasn't sharp. And I mean, we were just talking about it earlier. Maybe it was the week, it was heavy, it got to him mentally, just wasn't clear. But he's usually just so good with that reaction time with forwards that he's playing against.
Yeah, I thought
Tonight,
he wasn't great tonight at all. I feel like I don't know what's going on with him. It could be because of the week, as you said, or something else completely. But I don't know. He needs to really fix himself there. I thought Lewis Young was okay.
I thought
Lewis
so
Young
too.
is actually really good. I actually really like Lewis Young. Genuinely, I think the guy does his job. What? What's funny, Terry?
I don't know what's real in this conversation or not. I also thought Lewis Young was real. I don't know.
I feel like he's had a pretty good year, to be fair. Because what you get from him, that's what you're always going to get out of him. And he's just he does his job at the end of the day. Like, it's not perfect, it's not pretty. It can get a little bit frustrating, but at the end of the day, let's face it, it was good. He's had a pretty solid year. Ready today, I thought was a bit, meh. But then again, like, look at the ruck that he's playing against. Luke Jackson, who's a premiership player, who's got more experience than Liam. But then again, would you prefer him over Pito? I don't know. I think it's too early to tell. Would you play him next week? Maybe. But
Pito, is he available next week? They said, he had a broken hand? Round 8, round 9, I think they said.
Oh, well, what round is it next week? 7?
No, this was 7.
Oh, see, that's
Next
how you
day.
know I'm disinterested.
I personally don't think you can play them both together. I think you play one or the other.
After the debacle in Sydney,
Yeah.
you cannot.
It's hard, man. It's hard because with a ruck, your mids have to learn how to read their tap. That takes time, and that Reedy just hasn't had that time with the mids, whereas Pito has.
I felt
And
like
he's also just a better tap ruck.
I felt like tonight, even though I thought that he was, average, I felt like how he was around the ground was probably better than what we've seen from Pito, and how clean he can be with the ball.
Nah, Pito's been fucking amazing this year around the ground, bro. What do you mean? Bro, the guy's averaging like 20 touches a game.
Is he?
Pito's been incredible this year. Yeah, he's having like maybe not 20, maybe like 15-ish, but like he's been one of our best. He's been one of the best ruckmen in the comp. I'm happy to say it. Like Mark Pitnet, career resurgence. Terry, I see you laughing. I don't know what's so funny. I'm just trying to.
I just think this conversation is fucking amazing. That's all. I'm just having a good time. Aiden, I don't know if you're real. I don't know if what you are saying has come from your brain or not. I'm going to be dead honest. I don't know if you read comments online and decide that's my opinion or if you genuinely believe what you say.
No, I genuinely believe it. I mean, it's only what don't you understand?
I'm just making an observation.
Yeah, based off what?
Based off our conversations and how they go here and then they go there on certain players. But yeah, I thought Reedy was just in a tough spot. I was actually more impressed with him than what I wasn't. He's limited as what he is.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's his second game, but I mean, it's hard to tell. So
yeah, you guys, are you still feeling the rage from last week? Do you like have you calmed from it?
Yeah, I'm calm. Last week wasn't that bad. Like, Jenny, like I thought we played all right. I think it was similar to this week. I'll be serious now. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to hate on Brody Kemp at the start of the show. Like Jenny, I thought this game wasn't that bad. Again, I think someone said it before. It was like our best performance of the year so far, which is still sad. It wasn't a great performance, but you could see what they're trying to do, especially in that third quarter, when they were moving it down the middle, when they were kicking laterally. It wasn't just long down the line anymore. There's still a couple of things that confuse me, Terry. Like Jagger Smith. I know I talk about this every single week, but like he played like 0 midfield minutes this game. Like he played nothing. Like I'm not sure why we play him on that half forward. Like if we're not gonna play him in the middle, right? Why aren't we playing him off half back? Every other player of that blueprint, like Sheasel, like Dacos, like it's like elusive breaking lines types of players, which I think he is. They develop him on half back. Why are we the first team in the comp to try it at half forward?
It's a great question. I would also love to see him behind the ball. He doesn't start in the middle, but he drifts into the middle. So he does find himself around the ball. I saw he can get burnt a lot tonight as well. I saw him providing runs and just not get used as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was up to me, I'd start him off halfback, like how Collingwood did with Dacos, because Jagger, he's a pretty decent kick. I don't like how he's playing the half forward line, but again, would that make a difference in how he plays? I'm not too sure. I feel like he handballs a bit too much. Doesn't really kick a lot when he needs to. So
yeah, it's interesting.
But
St Kilda next week.
Can I just say one more thing? Do you feel that Walsh and Cripps trust their teammates around them? Because I feel like tonight they did a bit too much. Like there was times where Walsh should have kicked it or passed it a bit too early. Like I think it was on the wing where Shai Bolton ran him down. Instead of holding to take the free kick, he played on, and then he got caught. And I saw that a few times with him and Cripps tonight, and that kind of said to me that they don't really trust people around them. But I could be completely wrong. It's just how I saw it.
I don't think we just have a team. We don't have a full team synergy. Like it's not there. we chop and change the team every week, whether it's through injury or whatever. I also think you can't underestimate what last week did to the whole group, the whole club. Honestly, there were parts of me before the game started where I was bracing for a bit of a smashing. I thought the emotional toll of the week was just too heavy. And then when they blew it out in the fourth quarter, I thought, yeah, here we go. This is going to get ugly. We haven't really been put to the sword apart from what was it, Sydney? Like, I haven't seen a team wave the white flag yet. We're just not good enough.
I mean, tonight could have been that because I think Fremantle were up by 40 at one point, and then we tend to give a little fight back, but again, that wasn't enough. But again, it's just another Carlton performance, even though it was a little bit better. But can we build off that? Of course we can, but will it lead to wins? I'm not too sure.
Will you guys be at St Kilda next week?
Yeah. Unfortunately. I got every game, Terry. I'm a fucking idiot. Except this game. I actually think we'll win next week. Genuinely. I think St Kilda just love giving wins to clubs that don't deserve wins, and I think we don't deserve a win next week, but we'll get one anyways. Against Savani.
You're just saying that because we're versing Sauce and Tom. That's it.
I don't even care about them, bro. I'm happy that I'm good for them, bro. I don't hold hatred in my heart anymore, Aiden. I've let it go. I'm a changed man. I've turned over a new leaf.
Yeah.
I wish Charlie Kenner the best as Sydney and Silvani the best as St Kilda.
I knew Charlie was gonna do well this year, but apparently we weren't gonna miss him. He wasn't gonna be a loss, but again, unfortunately, I got proven right. So, but look, will I be at the game? I don't even know. I'm not gonna say yes or no because if I say yes, then I'll be there. If I say no, then I'll be there. So I'm just gonna say I don't know for now.
Just say yes. Just say yes.
No, I actually don't know.
You know we're gonna win.
No, you know what will happen? If I don't go there and if I do something else, we'll win. But if I go there, we'll lose. So my problem.
Don't go there then. Don't go so we can watch a win. Yeah.
Take one for the team.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Help your club.
What was that?
I said help your club. Your club needs you to not go so then we can win.
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, I'll probably do it for him.
Nah, fair enough.
Do it for Brody Kemp.
Yeah, do it for Brody Kemp. Atush, I cannot believe the rage for Brody Kemp. That was bizarre.
I've just held it in for so long. And
Is it
every single game he does all
Brody
right.
Kemp frustration? Is it just like building?
Yeah, a little bit.
But like,
I think because Mackay's not here. Maybe that's why.
I
just shifted.
But like, I get it if he was goalless or kick one goal two or like whatever. I would kind of get it because like this happens, the lingering frustration builds and builds and builds, but it's like you've released it after he's had his best game of the year. I don't understand.
The besties won't like what you said about Kempy. Besties
The
won't like
Don't tell Jazz.
Oh,
why? Ah, mate, she's
Jazz. Yeah,
she's a
big Brody Kemp fan.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
But how do we win next week?
How do we win next week, mate?
We show up and fight.
No, well, we stop having lapses in concentration.
I feel like there's one player that can easily tear the game apart, and that's Nazaya Wanganeen-Miller. How do we stop him? I don't know.
We bring George Hewitt back. We bring George Hewitt back and we tag him.
Or we can just bring Ollie
Put George
Holdings.
on Naz?
Yeah.
Oh, I reckon we put Ollie on him. That went really well with Nick Dacos last week.
Wait, so who do you think we should put on him then?
I have no idea. Who can you? Because the guy's quick. He's damaging. I don't see a player that we have that can contain him.
So
because we
pick
tried
one.
to with Nick Dacos. That
Yeah, but
did
with
not
Nat.
go well.
So you pick one. You're the coach.
I'll just say, you know what? Fuck it. No tag, no nothing. Just go for it.
So if they do that next week, you won't come on here and say, I can't believe we didn't tag Naz.
No, I won't, because I don't like tagging.
You just complained that... Okay, whatever. All right, Aiden.
Yeah, no. No, I said, how do we stop him? And then I said that I don't
Okay.
think that we can
Okay.
contain him.
Boys, I love you both. It's time. We should wrap it up.
It's been a long night.
It's midnight for me, so I've got a little bit more mental stamina, but it's 2 it's 2:15 for you guys, so it's late and we're making less and less sense as we go along. So I'm going to tuck you boys into bed because you're getting yourselves a little bit worked up, and it's time for you to have your little milk. I'll put it in the microwave.
I'm
We'll
fine.
warm it up for
I'll
you,
wake up.
and then we'll get you boys to bed and have a good night's sleep if you want. Go brush your teeth. I'll be upstairs shortly, and I'll read you a bedtime story, and we'll go from there. Sound good?
Will be that run of 2023.
Can't wait. See you, lads. All right. All right, ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in. I'll tell you what I've noticed. Those of you in Melbourne are so much more angrier than those of you in Perth. And Perth helped me this week because this week's been fucking awful. Awful to cover, awful in every sense. But when I'm very grateful and privileged to be able to have come to Perth this week. Being around people who don't get to watch the Blues play live because they're not from Melbourne, it reminded me of the gratitude for it all. Because Melbourne was a raging footy bubble of angry Carlton. So anyway, let's leave it there. We lost to the Dockers, to be expected. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow for the review, and we'll do the ratings probably Monday, and then get into St Kilda. Have a great night. Go Blues.